Remember when we were told how creepy it was, how creepy it is when an older man is dating a younger woman? We was told how creepy that was. Kevin Samuels kind of popularized age gap dating in this space, and people start talking about it more. It became more of a thing, and it became a regular part of the discussion. And I'm hearing background noise. Yeah, I can't hear it, but I can. Give me 1 second. All right, cool, cool, cool. Got it. Got it. It became a regular part of the discussion. A regular part of the discussion. My theory. My theory is a lot of the stuff that they try to talk men out of doing is a lot of the stuff that they already do. They go in on Passport Bros. Meanwhile, how Stella got her groove back was a national treasure. You see how that works? You see how everything that they criticize men, particularly black men, for doing is really just a shield for something that they actually want to do, that they actually participate in, that they actually celebrate, but they want to gaslight you out of doing it. That's the deal. That's how it works. And we about to get heavy into it. Got a lot of things on the table, a lot of things on the plate today. So let's get ready to go. Let's strap on in. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
What's up and what's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody in the building. Do appreciate you. We about to get on into this. Shout out to Aaron B and the Clue channel in excuse me. Aaron B and the Clue channel in the building. Oh, forgive me. But shout out to y'all in the building. Do appreciate y'all making y'all way on in. Make sure you hit the like button and let everybody know you're here. I really need you to hit the like button. Let everybody know you're here because I am on at an early start time. Yes, I will try to make this a reoccurring thing. Y'all know y'all don't even call it CPT time. Y'all call it BRT, Bernard Riley time. But I'm gonna start to get to be started every day, 9 o'clock a.m. EST, 9 a.m. ish. Put the ish with an asterisk. Let's get ready to go. Got a number of things on the plate for you today before we make our way into the main topic, before we make our way into the main topic. Got a number of things on the table. So here we go. There is actually, I just found out about this. I'm going to play a video and y'all let me know what y'all think.
City in the open. I won't take a picture. I started to tire. City in the open. City in the open. I just started to tire. It's okay.
I want to know what y'all think about that video. If you need a better shot of it, if you need a better shot of that same video, I could do it like this. That may not have been the best shot of it. We're going to get an even better shot. That was Trey Songz. And he was saying, after he did whatever he did right there, he was saying, titty in the open. Titty in the open. Like it was a rallying cry. Like it was like, yeah, it's a titty in the open. That's what he was doing. We're going to play that again. I'm playing this for a reason if you don't know what's going on.
City in the open. I won't take a picture. I started to tire. City in the open. City in the open. I just started to tire. It's okay.
All right, that was Trey Songz. Nope. Y'all not gonna put a random commercial on me. That was Trey Songz. All right. Question: did that look like a whole? Or does that look like a Me Too situation? Did that look like a Me Too situation? Did it look like this woman back in 2013? Because that happened in August of 2013. Did it look like we witnessed a savage and brutal assault? Forgive me. Where did I just put that? Oh, it's still up. Hold on. Did we just witness a brutal assault right there? Because the individual in question is pressing charges. That was 13 years ago. 13 years ago, and you are right, Michael Holt. It looked like she enjoyed it. It looked like she was having a great time. It looked like she was having an absolute 100% great time. Hoop Jargon in the building says, I've been to too many spring breaks. That's normal. But these days, you can't do that. But he did it in the days when that was normal. All right. He did that in 2013. She just recently released the video. The Mac the Trucker says it will be a Me Too situation 30 years from now. No, today is the day. Today is 30 years from now is today. All right. That was 13 years ago. Oh my goodness. He said grape songs. Man, get out of there. Excalibur is already ahead of the story. Yes, she is getting sued for that. Aaron B is like, what chest did he expose? I didn't see no chest. It don't matter. They can have bee stings, okay? If you expose a bee sting, it count, all right? Don't matter. Yes, Hoop Jargon, own early today. Gonna try to make this a regular thing. Michael Holt says, it was a cool story for her, but now it's a problem. Shaking my head. Oh, yeah. You have no doubt at all that she was bragging about that story. She wrote about it. I was partying with Trey Songz, and he pulled my titty out. 13 years go by, Me Too movement, Believe All Women movement, all of this stuff happened. Oh, shit. I've been a victim all of this time. I've been a victim all of this time. Who would have thunk it? Not me. But yes, she was a victim. She was a victim. Let's look at this victim one more again. Let's look at this victim one more again.
I won't take a picture. I started tired. City in the open. City in the open. I just started tired. It's okay.
All right. That was how she was brutally assaulted. Now, here's the interesting thing here, just for those that don't know. Trey Songz sued for sexual assault after exposing a woman's breast at a breast showing convention. Because that's exactly what a pool party is with Trey Songz there. It's not a pool party, it's a breast showing convention. So Trey Songz is being sued for sexual assault after exposing a woman's breast at a breast showing convention. That's what's happening. Goes on to say, Trey's attorney, Michael Friedman, you need to get a female attorney. Get a female attorney. You're being accused of something by a white female. You get a white female attorney. When Kobe, the late great Kobe Bryant, was accused of rape by a blonde white girl, who did he get to defend him in the courtroom? A blonde white girl. That's how it works. You got another toxically masculine man to defend you, Trey Songz. That's not going to work. But Trey Songz' attorney, Michael Friedman tells TMZ this is yet another example of decade-old allegations being repurposed into the federal case to take advantage of California's constitutionally questionable new look-back window. So they're changing laws in California. The new look-back window is what they're calling it. The new look-back window, meaning we can go all the way back. I talked about on my last show how another chick has come out the woodwork on Bill Cosby, talking about there was some sexual assault case from some Playboy model. She's saying that Bill Cosby did something to her. She's a 1969 Playboy model. So we like I said, we got civil rights era women. We got civil rights era women pulling Me Too's on people like that. That's like Rosa Parks trying to Me Too Malcolm X. Like that's like just imagine that. Just imagine that. Rosa Parks trying to Me Too Martin Luther King. Rosa Parks lived a long life and died as an old woman. But I don't know if she died in, sometime after, I don't know what year she died. Let's just say she died in 2017. Okay. That's like her in 2016 trying to pull off a Me Too situation on MLK or JFK. Like it's that bad. But they're going back. But this California, this, as they call it in the article here, it says California's constitutionally questionable new look back window is what they're using to go back in time in a silver DeLorean and Me Too people. We look forward to vindicating Trey on the merits in court. Trey Songz has been sued for sexual assault. This after exposing a woman's breast at a at a breast showing convention outside a Connecticut casino. According to the legal docs obtained by TMZ, the woman who's suing anonymously, of course, as Jane Doe, is coming after Trey, his production company, record exec Kevin Liles, and Atlantic Records over the 2013 incident. TMZ broke the story. The woman fired off a demand letter to Trey last year, claiming the rapper, they don't even know if the dude rap, sing, skip, the tap dance. Trey Songz, the rapper, the trap rapper Trey Songz. They don't even know. They don't even know what the niggas do. They just be writing whole articles on them. They don't know if this They don't know if this nigga sing, dance, or rap. They don't know what's going on. But it says the gangster rapper Trey Songz pulled her breasts out of the bikini top without consent. Let me make that bigger so y'all know I ain't making this up. These articles be funny when you sit there and read them. It says, claiming the rapper pulled her breast out. There it is right there. Claiming the rapper pulled her breast out. That is funny. Breast out of her bikini top without consent. Right. He didn't formally ask consent. He didn't formally say, "Excuse me, ma'am, would you be so kind to allow me to pull your breast out?" He did not do that. I thought he probably thought you didn't have to do that at a breast showing convention, because that's what a pool party with Trey Songz on it is. He didn't think you had to get consent. But he says exposing her to the crowd at his Foxwoods Liquid Sundays with Trey Songz event. Okay, so it was his, oh my goodness. She showed up at a Trey Songz event. Ain't like she randomly ran into him on the street. She showed up at his event. She was ready to go. He probably smashed. Providing video of the ordeal, the docs say the multiple defendants should have known about his sexual proclivities and are therefore responsible for failing to keep Trey under control during the event. But there it is right there. There it is right there. Getting it started off. But yes, Trey Songz is getting Me Too'd. Trey Songz is getting Me Too'd for a titty that was pulled out 10 years ago at a titty showing convention. That is what's happening. All right. What else? We got a number of things on the table here. Y'all remember the last show? Y'all remember the last show, right? When that was Saturday with Hood Conservative. When we covered the Travis Rudolph situation. All right, we covered that. It's hard to. I'm glad the internet puts the highlights where everybody could see them. I'm glad the internet does that, because I would not have caught this golden moment right here if somebody else didn't highlight it for me. I would not have caught this. But we gotta sit back and look. We gotta look at this one.
Mr. Rudolph, you would agree this is the firearm you had in your hand at the time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And even bigger and heavier than this, because you had 100 rounds in that double barrel drum, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you see your brother at Sable Palm Drive, and you run down there, and everybody has ran and left him back to the car, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But you keep pursuing them. That is how you got by the car, right?
Ms. Edwards, put that down.
Is it scary, Judge?
And flip it around so the muzzle's pointing towards me, not out there towards the jury. All right? Thank you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Take a long, hard look at that woman. Take a long, hard look at that woman. Now, we could talk about the gun safety issue, how she just in there got the muzzle pointed at people. You know, I'm not the gun expert like that. Like I said, I go to the range just enough to stay sharp, just in case. You know, it's been a while since I've been there. You know, every couple years you got to go just to make sure you stay fresh. But some people like to go once a month. Some people, it's their thing. It's not my thing. But I do know enough that you don't be in a damn courtroom, whether the automatic weapon is loaded or not. You don't be carrying it in a courtroom with the damn barrel pointed at people. So the judge had to say, like, "Goddamn, woman, could you stop waving that thing at the jury?" But that aside, Now y'all remember when we showed the video of the heartless chick? Some of y'all, okay, let me make sure we give backstory here. Some of y'all may not know the case. Him, and I use air quotes when I say, well, I mean, it's being reported as his girlfriend. So I use air quotes when I say that. All right. It's basically just a chick he was smashing who was still married. All right. It was a chick he was smashing. She was still married. He was messing with other people. Basically, a side chick. A side chick figured out that her dude that she was messing with on the side had other side chicks, and she lost it. All right. And she started stealing on him and hitting him. He did evasive maneuvers and techniques. She was still mad. She called Ray Nuck them. The goons on speed dials, you know, the unprotected women that got the goons on speed dial. That happened. She called them up, evidence of she telling them to go shoot his shit up. They went there, they went there, you know, they had guns according to the story. It was a fight according to the story. The part that I saw on camera, he did run out there with that gun that she was holding to shoot the dudes that basically came to jump him. It's some gray area in the story where he may end up getting locked up, because when he ran out there with the gun, they probably could argue that those guys weren't an immediate threat at that moment, and he was shooting at them while they were running away. So he might end up locked up, but I don't think he should. 4 men showed up at his house with evil intent. Anything that happened after that, that's what happened. But okay, that aside, we have to break down the limps, the argument that the arguments that this woman is making. How, you know, okay, we talk a lot about white supremacy. Well, not us, Black YouTube. We talk about people talking about white supremacy. We ain't to complain about white supremacy network. But there are a few wise men who have said that black women are the right hand of white supremacy. Well, it's interesting when we have a situation here where we got a chick who in a black chick in the courtroom with more weave on her hair than what Beyonce have when Beyonce be performing. She's in the damn courtroom. Even white women who could grow that kind of hair know that when they're doing a professional job in a courtroom in a pantsuit, even they go with a shorter haircut. They cut their natural natural hair to grow from the root. They know to cut it shorter. But she in there with weave down to the crack of her ass. Okay, that's what she in the courtroom doing. A black man on trial for something that's kind of questionable, that he probably shouldn't be on trial for. Some legality loopholes. He may end up going down for it, because, you know, they say you can't shoot at somebody running away. All right, but either way it go, it is the black woman who's in there pulling out all the stops, pulling out the weapon. It's like, it's just an interesting thing how, like, when we look at, you know, they talk about the black incarceration rate and how many black men are locked up, how many black men have records. A black man don't get a fair deal in the courtroom. They go to that courtroom, and yes, it's the white judge and all of this, but now in this modern day and age, you may get one of your own people, and they're pulling out all the stops, pulling out all the arguments. I'm showing up here with 8 pounds of weave down to my ass, trying to convince these white people that this black man who was defending himself need to get locked up. Like, that gotta hit kind of odd, don't it?
Mr. Rudolph, you would agree this is the firearm you had in your hand at the time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And even bigger and heavier than this, because you had 100 rounds in that double barrel drum, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you see your brother at...
like she wanted, like you see how she was just explaining what happened, but she wanted to make sure that it's embedded into the story that it was 100 rounds in there, wasn't it? So it was even bigger and heavier with all of those bullets you had in there.
Sable Palm Drive, and you run down there, and everybody has ran and left him back to the car, right?
Yes.
So she's trying to show them that, yes, you were defending your house against 4 men who came to do you harm, but they weren't doing you harm at the moment, were they?
No.
But you keep pursuing them. That is how you got by the car, right?
Ms. Edwards.
She's going in on him. She's in there trying to rip this man a new one.
Keep that, put that down.
Is it scary, Judge?
And flip it around.
Now, when she said, "Is it scary, Judge?" it's because the judge is like, "Will you put that thing down?" Because she got the barrel pointed at people and stuff. And she's like, "Whoa, so you telling me this judge, this big weapon is pretty scary, right? Right?" Basically trying to, further plant the seed that, look at this animal, and he was carrying this scary weapon. It's like they talk a lot about white supremacy, but I just gotta ask the question: is this black woman in there with 8 pounds of weave down to the crack of her ass? Is she using the tools of white supremacy to make this black man sound like more of a monster, so to get him to convince these white folks that he need to go to jail for defending his house? Is that what happened? Is that what's happening? Am I analyzing this wrong? Am I missing something? Because that well, it looks like it's happening. I saw somebody say in the chat room, shout out to Tommy Sotomayor, hair had it hooligan acting a fool again. I saw that in the chat room, but see, that brings me to my point.
So the muzzle's pointing towards me, not out there towards the jury. All right? Thank you. I'm sorry.
It
Go
brings
ahead.
me to my point, though.
All right, Mr. Rudolph.
That whole line of thinking. Here's the point that it brings me to. And I don't got the video ready to go of the woman that he's on trial for, the woman that was hitting on him, who called the goons up. But here's the deal. When you look at this woman here on the screen, and then you look at the woman who on the tape was punching him and then called up the goons to say, go shoot his shit up, is there really a difference between the two? Is it really a difference? Like that's my question. We have a tendency to say, we shouldn't have to say not all, because obviously, you're generalizing when you're saying things. We don't have to say not all, but in some cases you can say not all, because I look at this chick. I mean, in some cases you can't say all, because what I'm saying is I look at this chick as no different. The way that she acting right now in the courtroom, the way that she looking and presenting herself in the courtroom, I mean, yes, okay, so she went to school, she's smart enough to remember the answers to questions on the test, and she's a lawyer, she passed the bar exam. It's some intelligence up there, but I see her as not that different from a chick who, in a similar situation, would go to fine on her, go to hitting the dude. That ain't even her dude, but it'll go to hitting on him. And call up the dudes. Call up the goons to come finish the job. I see her no different. It's like the same woman that he was entangled with that was on the witness stand, and they were like, you sent people to his house to go shoot him. And she was like, yeah, but did they shoot him? Did you send people to go shoot him? Did they shoot him? You sent a text message saying, go shoot his shit up. I said, yeah, his shit up. What does his shit mean? And she was like, everything but him. So you sent him to go shoot him. Did he shoot him? it was like she had a lot of, but did he die energy? You tried to kill him, but did he die? It's like she was. That chick that was acting like that was behaving like that on the stand, and we were just looking at, man, just look at how she rolling, and then we look at her, and it's like they the same chick. Just one of them went to school, one of them didn't. They the same chick. Just one went to school and one didn't. It was this thing blows me away. Blows me away. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button on bright and early. Try to get used to the new start time. This was my original start time, so this was the time I'm going to be starting. This is what time I'm going to be starting. So let's try to get used to this start time. Got a number of things on deck for you fine folks today. Before we ease our way into the main topic. Before we ease our way on into the main topic, we got a number of things on deck to get through today. We got Usher and Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover, two men whose music I like. I'm a fan, particularly of Childish Gambino. But why the hell? I don't even know where they at. But wherever the hell they at, they out there dressed in some pantsuits. Those ain't even like suits. Those are pantsuits. Those are suits that women wear. Like they out there dressed like two strong black independent women who don't need no man. That's how they out there dressed. they dress like some educated business professional, don't need no man. Black women. That's how they out there dressed. Especially Childish Gambino. He got on the pantsuit. Okay, RM, I have no idea what the Wonder Woman deflection meme had to do with this. That wasn't me. That was RM pushing the buttons in the back. I don't think that one fit RM. But they Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover, is out there dressed like you know how Beyonce dressed when she not performing. She's going somewhere. She got to go do business, but it's gonna be cameras there. So she gotta get did up, but she don't want to get so did up that where she looking like she performing. So she doing business. So she got to wear business professional clothes, but she still got to let everybody know she the baddest bitch there. So she wear a damn pantsuit with the back out, with the cleavage coming all the way down to there. That's what Donald Glover done put on. That's what Donald Glover done put on. Even Sir Tyson saying Usher don't look suspect in this picture. Maybe it's just because he's standing. Maybe it's just because he's standing next to somebody who's looking gay. That could be it. That definitely could be it. But I don't know. Both of those suits just look like pantsuits for women. They look like with business professional bad bitches put on when they gotta do something, and then they gotta do their corporate job. That's what it looked like. It looked like the chick that's trying to get Travis Rudolph locked up will rock some shit like that. But yeah, I stumbled across that one. I had to present that one to the Grand Assembly. I'm gonna start just showing y'all the random stuff I stumbled across. I think this one is kind of old, but it's a goodie, and I must show y'all.
Lord, the fear.
Let me make that bigger.
Dear Lord, the ribs you took from us are asking us to cash at them before starting a conversation.
I just ran by this. This one, I got a feeling this one is older than what I think it is, but I'm just now stumbling across it, and I just had to run it.
Dear Lord, the ribs you took from us are asking us to cash at them before starting a conversation.
You can rest assured that if the Lord made them from our ribs, which means they are a part of us, they are attached to us, they are connected to us. All right. If they're asking that we cash app them before we start a conversation, clearly that divine connection has been broken. All right. that divine, ordained by God spiritual connection has been broken. The contract has been shredded and set on fire. That contract has been put through the shredder. They took all the little shredded pieces of it and then burned them. All right. That shit is done. That shit is done.
Dear Lord, the ribs you took from us are asking us to cash at them before starting a conversation.
Oh man, that's classic. Now, another thing I got to get into now. Hit the like button. Hear me on this one. I was going to make a whole pre-record on this one, but it made the show today. I always talk about the pre-manosphere world, okay, and what used to pass as advice for men. This is the type of stuff that used to pass as advice for men. This stuff right here.
I'm wrong, and Laura's right. This is a really easy one. Laura's right. That's simple. Thank you very much. That one seemed obvious to me. Believe it or not, from here, it gets complicated. Okay, if we're both right, it doesn't matter. Laura's right. Thank you very much. That's the key. I would rather be happy than be right. That's what I'm thinking. If I'm right and Laura's wrong, doesn't matter. Laura's still right. And if we're both wrong, Donna's wrong.
Now, what he's saying right there, and keep in mind, in the comment section, see how I say this is a core secret to a successful relationship. Other renditions of this is saying all in the captions that this man has figured out the secret to life, the secret to marriage. This is an older video. Pre-manosphere, this is what passed as advice for men. Where it is essentially saying, this is from the school of happy wife, happy life. Yeah, this is from that school. Where it's basically saying, if the man is wrong and the woman is right, then the woman is right. Or I should say, if the husband is wrong and when the wife is right, then the wife is right. If the husband is right and the wife is right, then guess what? The wife is right. If the husband is right and the wife is wrong, well, guess what? The wife is still right. But if they're both wrong, then the husband is wrong. This is from the school of, Sir Tice is saying in the chat room, happy wife, happy life. And this is the type of stuff that used to pass as relationship advice for men. This is the stuff that used to pass pre-manosphere. Well, into manosphere, the men start really talking, other than the few, brave soul comedians who could say what they want to say when they want to say it, and it didn't matter. It was a few of those, but by and large, for the most part, nobody was really keeping it real. Nobody was saying that, yes, and when you start conducting yourself like that in the short term, she will be happy to get her way, but in the long run, she will not respect you. You give her an inch. Shout out to Game Changer. You give her an inch, she cut your whole dick off. Give her an inch, she take your whole dick. That's essentially what happens there. No woman is going to respect a man who acquiesce that much. I remember I was watching the Black Love YouTube channel. It's actually a YouTube channel called Black Love. And basically the whole gist of the channel is black men, in my opinion, the whole gist of the channel is black men surrendering and submitting to their wives. That's basically what's going on the whole damn show. All right. Black men basically submitted to their wives. And then somebody even, I did some content on this a while ago. One of the men said something like, and that's why, I tend to acquiesce to my wife. You look up the word acquiesce, it means to reluctantly yield to to an authority, so to speak. Reluctantly yield to an authority. I think I got that right. Yes, and Indigo Flow knew exactly what I was talking about. He says, shout out to Patrice O'Neal, Bill Blur, and many others. You listen to some old Eddie Murphy, he was slipping some stuff in there. Chris Rock used to slip a lot of stuff in there. Only comedians could tell the truth because it's like, ha, 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 I'm just joking. These is jokes. Only comedians could really, truly tell the truth. Everybody else had to smuggle it in. The comedians themselves had to essentially smuggle it in. That's what I'm trying to say. Everybody else had to do what this guy is doing right here. And he's on that happy wife, happy life stuff. He's on that happy wife, happy life stuff. And this is what used to pass as relationship advice for men. I remember they asked Denzel Washington, what's the key and the secret to a successful marriage? Denzel Washington even said, I keep my mouth shut. He said, I do as I'm told. He said, I keep my mouth shut, keep my head down. I do as I'm told. He said something like that. Denzel Washington. That used to be standard advice. It did.
Laura. Okay, if I'm wrong and Laura's right, this is a really easy one. Laura's right. That's simple. Thank you very much. That one seemed obvious to me. Believe it or not, from here, it gets complicated. Okay, if we're both right, it doesn't matter. Laura's right. Thank you very much. That's the key. I would rather be happy than be right. That's what I'm thinking. If I'm right and Laura's wrong, doesn't matter. Laura's still right. And if we're both wrong, Donna's wrong.
That used to pass as advice for men. It really did. Eamon Perry, you're saying Denzel Washington gave a politically correct answer. I disagree. I don't think he really gave a politically correct answer right there. That was beyond politically correct. That was like politically correct is to give an answer without giving an answer. But that's for bend the knee and yield. Like that, I can't even call that politically correct. No, that's a full blown no. That's bending over and spreading them. I'm sorry. That's just that was not that was too far for politically correct. But yeah. He said, sounds like prison. Sounds like prison. Does it now? Well, things are changing in the sense that men are operating, thinking, and I think, moving differently. I think men are processing things differently now. There's still a lot of pushback. There's still a lot of pushback from men taking a firm stand, not to go for the nonsense. There's a lot of pushback. There's a lot of pushback from women. Now most of the pushback is from men now. The women were smart enough to just leave the men alone and let them eat each other. But moving right along, KG says, my wife is the boss. Yeah. That's essentially what they say. My wife is the boss. I used to look at grown men with the side eye as a kid when I heard that. See, now you're a better one than me, because as a kid, no, I didn't see. I didn't side eye that at all. Not at all. I thought it was relatively normal when I saw that type of thing. And not to get too deep into my personal, but I do know my stepdad, he didn't operate like that. He didn't operate on some you know, his wife, my mom, was the boss type of stuff. He didn't operate like that. And I remember it was off-putting. To me, where it was, you know, at first, you know, I was like, man, I like my mama not in control. Mama not running the show. It threw me off. It did. I was like, what the hell is this? For real. Like that. That's what it be like. That's legit what it be like. It will completely throw you off. It will completely throw you off. But if you was side-eyeing that at an early age, I commend you. But speaking of things being out of order, I saw a video that's, you know, going to be a bit fun to watch, just to listen to, because a lot of it is audio, and somebody, the guy who the channel is called the Black Family Institute. Okay, you know how we pull up those old civil rights era videos where, you know, well, me and Hood pulled up one from the 60s where a chick was talking. She was essentially talking like, women, we gotta deprogram the men to not put up with our stuff, because we gonna do whatever we want to do. We're gonna try to get away with whatever we can get away with, whether we want to do it or not. We just gonna do it just because you allowing it. A chick was saying that in 1968. All right, a chick was saying that in 1968. We pull up videos like that, and there's the infamous video from 1986 where the chicks was saying that, no, you don't need a man to raise a family. You know, these was young mothers saying that they, you know, they asked the question, how many of y'all want to be married to your kid's father, by show of hands, and only one of them raised their hand. But there's a more recent video. There's a more recent video of a similar conversation. Yes, Bill Moyer video, 1986 CBS. There's a more recent video. Indigo Flow says, "Oh my bad, was it 1968?" The first video I was talking about, yes, that was 68. That was 68. Yes. But here's a more recent one. Here is a more recent one. Now, I don't know who this guy is. He has a small channel. I probably don't even got 100 subscribers, but he did some stuff, you know, out in the real world, talking to people. He added BGS in it, and BGS shared it. This video is from like 6 months ago. It don't got that many views, but it is eye-opening. All right, it is eye-opening. Okay, so we gotta roll this one. We gotta play this one. Strap on in. I gotta strap on the headsets for this one. Make sure I hear it properly, because this is every bit as eye-opening as that those 1968 and the 1986 Bill Moyer's video. This is every bit as eye-opening as those. So strap on in for this one.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Heavy Hooks, aka Dean Smith, aka Rodney Smith, here with another video. And in this video, we're going to be listening to audio of seventh grade girls talking about family and community. I think this is very interesting, because we have to understand that whatever is affecting us as adults ends up affecting our youth. And you can hear this in this conversation. So let me go ahead and start playing it.
Now, what he's about to play is a conversation that he was actually having with some 12-year-old girls, and he was asking them some questions. about, family and kids and the stuff that they were saying. I mean, it sounds like they've been listening to Black YouTube. It sounds like that. I don't want to say it sounds like they've been listening to Cynthia G, but the stuff that y'all about to hear these young girls say. The stuff that y'all about to hear these young girls say. Yes, RM. Yes, you can drop the link to his channel. It's a small channel. So yeah, go show him some love. Go show him some love. Give him a subscribe. But we gotta play this clip right here
so that you can hear it. Here we go.
All right, just say how old you are.
I'm 12 years old.
I'm 12 years old.
I'm 12 years old.
I'm 12. All right, so I've heard what I heard from a couple of y'all today, I just want to confirm, because I've heard older black men say this, that black females will hit guys that they like. Can you confirm that for me, please?
Yes. It depends.
So that means that yes, then.
Yeah.
It's weird having this conversation with 12-year-old girls. I can't. I don't have nothing to say to a 12-year-old girl. But but once we get past this initial part where they're talking about that they hit boys that they like, I mean, listen, a man is on trial right now because a woman was just hitting on him. So I mean, we can draw parallels, but a part of me want to say that there's an aspect of innocent, kids being kids, but then there's a carryover aspect of that too. There is a carryover aspect of that. I mean, I just showed a video, just was talking about a man who was on trial. A man on trial, a woman was beating him in the face, and he just using the defensive maneuvers to get away from her. Then he called up the goons to come handle it, and now he on trial for murdering the goons that came to his house. We can draw parallels to girls hitting the boy that they like on the playground. We can, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary for the larger points I want to make.
So while we were in class,
RM, if you're trying to find this channel, it's called the Black Family Institute with no spaces in between the words. That logo that you just saw, you will see that the logo that you just saw on my screen, you'll see that logo and you'll know it's his channel.
Girl hit a guy, a black girl hit a black male, and I was like, yo, this gotta stop. And then I thought about something that I heard somebody say before, and he said that a part of black culture is one part of black culture is black females will hit the black males that they like.
Sodomy and Chicken is saying BGS said they used to do that to him in 1940. I mean 60 in the 1960s. BGS ain't that old. I'm joking. I like BGS. I rock with BGS. A lot of people be finding whatever reason they can to come at him as if he haven't presented a wealth of information and data into this space. That's why I don't like when people be going at BGS when they know not all, there's people like Angry Man and Obsidian and Black Ramp, so many others who laid down so much groundwork, but overall, BGS is right there in that category of people who laid down a lot of groundwork and foundational things for the space. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Nate. I didn't watch the stream, but I saw BGS name in one of your titles and thumbnails recently. Chill out. Talking to you, Nate. I wasn't talking about you, but I mean, you fit one of the categories. If the shoe fit, wear it. If the shoe fit, wear it. All right, let's get back with it.
So after I told the female that she needs to keep her hands off of this young man because he had not hit her in any sort of way, I asked her, I was like, is it true that you'll hit a male that you like? And she said yes. So when we started the podcast, I wanted to ask that question to confirm, and the majority of the black females agreed with this. So let's keep going.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, another question. Do you think that it's okay for females to have babies without a husband?
I think it's fine. Yes.
12 years old. That was her raw reaction as a 12-year-old. He asked a 12-year-old. Shout out to this brother. This is some field research that I'm not up for. Okay, I'm not going to talk to the youth to gather data to present to you. That ain't my ministry. Shout out to this brother. The man is out there on the ground doing field research. This is recent, okay? This ain't one of those. This ain't no Bill Moyer's interview. This is recent, okay? He posted this 6 months ago. That was a young man right there that's doing this, okay? He's talking to 12. This is a brother who cares about the community. This is a brother who cares about the community. Doing field research. He said, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to get some 12-year-old girls from I don't know where and talk to them and just ask them. They just to hear their raw thought process, just to hear their stream of consciousness. And that's what they could. That's what the first one just came up with. To the question, is it necessary for a man? Let me back it up. Let me back it up so I don't botch the question.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, another question. Do you think that it's okay for females to have babies without a husband?
I think it's fine. Yes. Definitely. No.
No? All right. So why do you say it's okay for females to have babies without husbands?
Because there's other like you can have a baby without having
No, I'm not asking if it's possible. I'm asking, is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's
fine.
fine.
And why is it good?
Because I think it's good because it's being an independent woman, and
right.
you're being strong without a man that is supposed to be supposedly strong.
Okay.
Again, one thing in my estimation that the Black Manosphere has done, it has presented a lot of information that diffuses, takes away, disputes, debunks, or at least throws a flag on the play when they talk about the problem is that niggas ain't shit. All right. The Black Manosphere has thrown the flag on that play. All right. That like we've cleared the black man's name on so many levels. When you look at the single mother epidemic, and these girls didn't get to they didn't read a book and find this information. They got it from their mama. Let's just make it clear. They got this information from their mom. When we say things like black women, there's a culture of single motherhood and baby mamaism and the whole works, and then they say no, Every woman wants to be with the father of her children. In fact, she wouldn't even get pregnant by him unless she actually wanted to be with him. And we say, no, that's some bullshit. And then they tell us that we was wrong. They tell us that we're wrong. You're hearing it coming, just raw stream of consciousness coming out of the mind of a 12-year-old, okay? Who sound like she been listening to these chicks on Black YouTube. And she might as well have, because she's been listening to her mama in the house. These girls, they can get ruined from just one phone. Just listening to their mama on the phone for 5 minutes can just ruin their life. If they just sit there and listen to what their mama talking about on the phone.
Yeah, I think it's good because basically what Ariel said, but also because you don't always need a man for like everything that you do. Because sometimes they'll be like, you need a man to lift heavy stuff, but not really. You don't really need it.
Okay, and I'm gonna go to you last.
You only need a man to lift heavy stuff, but you don't really need that. Yeah, I remember when Kendra G, not Kendra G. Yeah, okay, yeah, I know who Kendra G is. I don't gotta backstory. She brought her dad on, and he basically said the same thing. He was like, "You don't need no man." He was just he looked in the camera to talk to the women. Only thing you need a man for is to lift something heavy. This girl, she even saying you don't even really need him for that. They're taught this stuff. They're cultured into this stuff. Shout out to Great Britain in the building with the first super chat. Do appreciate that. He says, because men are supposedly strong, misandry from the middle school. They hate us at such a young age. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Do appreciate that. Do appreciate that. No country for old simps. Yeah. Thanks for supporting the stream. Do appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who support the stream. I don't even got my phone down here so I can try to keep up on Cash Apps. If the shout out to Michael H. I don't know what's your name in the chat, so I don't want to say what's potentially your full government name, but shout out to you for sending a $5 Cash App. I do appreciate that. Shout out to you for sending a $5 Cash App. I do greatly appreciate that. Also, shout out to my man, Sir Tice, in the building. Was sent a $10 Cash App. Shout out to Sir Tice.
What do we get for $10? Everything you want.
Shout out to Sir Tice. Appreciate everybody supporting the stream. Appreciate each and every one of you. No Country for Old Sims had to come out the clouds. Somebody put the bat symbol in the air. They said No Country for Old Sims. He had to come out the clouds, man. Yeah, we own it today. We own it.
I think it's good because kind of what both of them said, and also because like some stuff happens in people's lives and maybe the man's not there, or like maybe something like he couldn't be there, so the woman has to like take over. And if they're not married, then I mean, like, why should it stop her? Because like if she wants to have a child and she can have a child, then what's us to say that she can't, and why should we stop her? There, so the woman has to like take over. And so because like
no, it sound like this young girl was talking about it from the perspective like the woman forced into the situation, and that's we say all the time that from whether it's 12 or 22 or 32 or 52, they don't think that much differently. But it's like it started out with yeah, woman could do it by herself. Yeah, You don't need a man to take to help with a family. Yeah, no, of course not. No, we good. The woman is good. Then once it got a little pushback, then you can see how the plea was copped. You can see how the young girl copped a plea to, well, she was forced to do it. She wasn't just actively saying, no, that's what I want to do, and that's what makes sense, and that's what can be just fine, that's what can be great. She was basically saying, it's like she did exactly what grown women do in these conversations. They cop a plea to, our back was against the wall, and we had to do it. It's like, that's what they cop a plea to.
Some stuff happens in people's lives, and maybe the man's not there, or like maybe something like he couldn't be there, so the woman has to like take over. And if they're not married, then I mean, like, why should it stop her? Because like if she wants to have a child and she can have a child, then what's us to say that she can't, and why should we stop her?
So here, unprompted, I'm asking the young ladies why they think it would be okay for a woman to have a baby without a husband. And they say because women are strong, independent women. Now, these are not grown women. These are 12-year-olds that have not listened to the talking points of the manosphere or have heard of Cynthia G or any of these adult talking points. But they are talking as if we're watching the Kevin Samuels show. It's blowing my mind that kids that have never watched these shows still have the same talking points of modern women, saying that yes, it's good for women to have babies without husbands. So we'll continue. Last, I'm going to the young lady, the 12-year-old woman, the 12-year-old kid that disagreed. So it was one that disagreed, and I'm going to her last. And I want you to pay attention to what she says, because I go back and use that with these young ladies that said it was good. So let's continue.
Yeah, hood conservative. That's what I was thinking too. It is some Bill Moyers vibes in this conversation. It is some Bill Moyers vibes in this conversation. He says Bill Moyers 2.0. Yeah, like that's what prompted me to cover this. When I was listening, I was like, man, this sounds just like the updated Bill Moyers thing. Shout out to this brother. Got a small channel. I don't know that much about him. It just popped up. It popped up because I think BGS shared it. So that's how I got it. And so yeah, here we are. True Hype in the building says, hope that young lady never has to fix the water heater, change a tire, or do heavy labor. Here's the thing, True Hype. She won't. She won't. Heavy labor, they can survive without heavy labor. Men have civilized the world and made it easy enough to where if you could just type X number of words per minute, put on a headset and go into a cubicle and you can make enough to get by. She won't have to lift nothing. She don't have to lift nothing heavier than a stapler. So that's the thing about it. Change a tire? Nah, she won't have to do it. Somebody will do it for her. There's roadside services. You know, it'll get done. It'll get done. She won't have to do that. Fix a water heater. I just did that. I don't like. I've told y'all before. I don't do gas. I don't do electric. I had to man up and light my water heater. Had to man up and light my water heater like a month ago, and it was not for the faint of heart. When you turn that knob over and then you go, you got the gas on and you sitting there lighting that fire by the gas. It's a scary thing. Reality is she won't have to do it. Somebody will do it. Worst come to worst, the worst case scenario, she have to pay somebody to fix her water heater or change that tire. Best case scenario, she finds somebody to do it for free. So in that regard, and I hate to say this, all right, but in that regard, in a roundabout, technical, literal way, if we just talking about bare bones of survival, making it from one day to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, all the way to your death, okay? We can look at unintended consequences. We can look at the outcomes of children. We can look at a number of things, okay? We can look at a number of data points and see how actually, no, you can't make it without a man. No, you actually can't raise a kid by yourself. We got the data to prove it. However, from a technical, literal standpoint, you can't argue with the fact that the world is civilized and made easy enough for where a woman who knows how to do nothing, can't defend herself, can't protect herself, not going to do a hard, dirty job, can make it through life. Can not only make it through life, but can probably make more money than you. Let that sink in. You out there going to work in steel toe boots, coming home dirty with calluses on your hand. This woman who don't lift nothing heavier than a stapler, live in a house that's heated for the winter, air conditioned for the summer, driving on paved roads in a car that don't shut down, to go to some building in some business in some air conditioned cubicle to do some basic work where she don't lift nothing heavier than a stapler, and could do that practically to death and live and survive without a man. There are going to be some bad outcomes and results that we can point at, but the fact of the matter is, from a technical standpoint, they don't need a man. They can survive without a man, and they have men to thank for that. Because all that stuff that I just talked about, the air-conditioned house, the heated in the winter, the car that don't shut down, the paved road to drive to the building where it's a nice cozy cubicle and an air-conditioned cubicle where she don't lift nothing heavier than a stapler. All of that was built and created by men, so she could beat her chest and grab her nuts and say she don't need a man. Why? Because men have built and created a world that makes it to where she don't. I don't need no man. Yeah, you got men to thank for that. Like that's that's really what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, True Hype in the building with the $5 super chat. Do appreciate that. Do appreciate the super chat. Oh, that's a topic too, Saluddin El Rahim. They say AI is going to take all those cubicle jobs. Somebody sent me something on that where it's sort of out there already, where AI is actually most of the AI jobs that's getting got. Most of the AI jobs that's getting got are most of them are women jobs. There's a lot of jobs that men do that you need a physical body getting in there, doing the work. AI can't do carpentry. AI can't fix the water heater. AI can't stop the basement from flooding. AI can't wire the electrical. AI it's certain stuff that AI can't do. All right. It's certain stuff that AI can't do that only men can do, that only men are willing to do. So you are kind of right on that AI is going to take away some of the cozy jobs. But again, like I always say, and people don't like this, we are heading towards Star Trek. And when it get to the point to where AI and technology is just doing everything to the point to where there are no jobs, then this thing that we love as good, red-blooded Americans is, technology is going to kill capitalism. I have my theories on that. As we move into Star Trek land with all this AI and everything going on, AI is going to kill capitalism, and it's going to. I don't know if we're going to live to see it, but we're gonna live in some futuristic. They think it's gonna be a utopia. It might not be, but we're gonna live in some futuristic. I'm using air quotes. Social. I won't even call it a utopia. I'll call it. We're gonna live in someday. We're gonna live in a futuristic socialist wet dream. We're gonna live in a futuristic socialist wet dream where computers, technology, robots, AI is doing all the damn jobs. And then what are they going to do for the 9 billion people on the planet? What are they going to do for the 9 billion people on the planet? That dirty word UBI. Like we hit it towards that. We in a crash course with that. So, but the thing is, it's happening fast and then slow and then fast. It's like, a year ago there was 6 months ago it seemed there was no AI, and all of a sudden, boom, AI everywhere. So it's like technology will get at a standstill for a long period of time. Then out of nowhere, they just roll out a bunch of stuff. They just roll it right on out. Hood in the chat talking about the government. The government gonna lose. They're yeah. We're gonna let AI do the government. I think there's already some talk of letting AI figure out legal cases. There's already some talk of that. It's funny if that AI would be more racist. That AI show a bias against niggas. That's just gonna be all fucked up. Woo, man. Let me get back into it. Let me get back into Bill Moyers 2.0. Let me get back into Bill Moyers 2.0. The people that came in late don't know where we at or what we're talking about here. This is a video done by a brother who basically did some on the ground field research. This is a brother who cares about the community. And, I guess he came to the conclusion that we talk to adults a lot. Let's talk to the children. Let's talk to the youth. Let's see what the youth got to think about it. So he went and he I don't know where he found them. Like, again, he gathered some 12-year-old girls, some 7th grade girls, and started asking them questions. The things that they said was startling. Predictable depending on how you look, depending on where you... Predictable depending on where you're coming from. But a lot of the stuff that I don't get surprised by it, but I'm just like, it's like, here we go. But this was hitting. This conversation has been hitting like that Bill Moyers documentary from 1986. But anyway, here we go. He's asking them questions. Do you need a man to raise a family and all of it and they're giving startling answers. They're giving startling answers.
Okay. Now, why did you disagree? You said it's a bad thing for a woman to have a baby without a husband. Why?
I said no because where I grew up, my
Where'd
family.
You grow up?
I grew up in Haiti. I'm a Christian.
In Haiti,
and
okay. All right.
For there, if you do not have a husband, you have kids, they will like treat you bad and talk about you like that, and they gonna tell you going to hell because why you have a husband, why you have a kid but not a husband? What's the point of having it if you're not gonna have nobody to like raise it with you? So that's why I disagree because they was gonna like treat you and tell you going to hell and stuff.
So so in Haiti, there's a culture of men and women getting married and then having a baby.
Yeah.
And then you are shunned and talked about if you have a baby without a husband, right?
Yeah, but you could get married at any age.
Uh-oh. It sounds like they got shame in their culture, and that shame is deterring this girl from saying this stupid shit that they saying in this country. Don't tell some people in this space that it's a cultures where shame exists. I don't know. That's a whole can of worms right there in this space. But anyway, I mean now in this, but anyway. But yeah, but different culture is saying no, that ain't it. That ain't it. They frown upon that. Where did she say she's from? Haiti. She's saying they frown upon that out there. So no, you don't do it. You don't do it. You will be shunned, shamed, castigated. You will be shunned, shamed, and castigated. Where this culture is going, it's difficult to adequately to like that type of stuff got to be baked into the cake of the culture. That's all I'll say to that. In this wide open American system, freedom, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, everything moving towards egalitarian, moving in an egalitarian way, second wave of feminism, it is, and I'm not being doom and gloom today. I'm not being doom and gloom, but there is an element of is modern American modern American woman wants her freedom, and she's instilling that into the children. But the one that's from Haiti has something else instilled into her. There's that.
Okay. All right. So, let me ask you this.
So, see how the young lady said, no, in Haiti, you supposed to get married. We're Christians. You get talked about if you have a baby without a husband. So I'm going to use this and go back around to the ladies who said it was a good thing. So here we go.
Bro, leave it alone. If we're going to build a community, if we're going to build a community, which is a collection of families, can you do that with a bunch of single mothers without husbands?
I don't think so. Because if you're building a family,
because a community is a collection of families, right?
Yeah, if you're building a family, like it can either be a single mom with 2 kids, that can be a family, and it could either be a mom, a dad, and a.
Notice how she said you can have a family with just a single mom.
Family?
Yeah, because a community is a collection of families, right?
Yeah, if you're building a family, like it can either be a single mom with 2 kids, that can be a family, and it could either be a mom, a dad, and a.
Notice how.
Yeah, that's interesting. The family could either be a woman with some kids, or it could be a man, woman with some kids. That's how she's, eyeing out, exemplifying family. Interesting.
She said you can have a family with just a single mom.
Kid, which can also be family. So I feel like it would be better for you to have a husband to become a part of that.
Oh, so now
community.
you're changing up your stance.
Well, I don't.
So remember, she said it's good to have this single parent mom. She said it's good, but then when she was talking, she said, "Nah, if we want to build strong families and communities, we actually need the mother and the father together to raise this child." So I'm asking her, "Hey, you want to backtrack now?" So
that's interesting, because that means it seems like despite what she's been taught, somewhere innately she understands if you're going to have a good, strong community, you need men in it. It's like, regardless of what she's been taught and what's been programmed into her, it seems as if she innately knows that when he framed the question just right. He had to put the dots close enough for her to draw to make the connection. Great Britain said, just proves Black America culture is trash. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
Let's see what she says.
No, it's like I'm in the middle of both.
You're in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? Are you changing your stance?
No, I think you could probably build a community because there's a lot of people.
So we
out
can
there
build a
like
strong community with just a bunch of single mothers.
Yes.
So what do we do with all the men?
So again, I said, so we can build a community with just a bunch of single mothers, and she said yes.
You agree too? Before I forget that what I added, do you still agree? Are you changing your stance?
I'm changing my stance because I feel like we could build a community like.
Yeah, I heard that fresh and fit. That I feel like
Like she said, we could build a community with like,
just single moms.
Well, you said build a family, and I mean like not all families.
I said, because of community. I said we're gonna build a community, and a community is a collection of families.
But
so can we really build a strong community with just single moms?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead. So what do we do with all the men then? That's the second part of the question.
What do we do out of men?
Yeah, because you said we're gonna build families and communities with just single moms.
Well, they're done for. I don't know.
The men.
It's funny, but it's not funny. That was the funniest not funny shit I've ever seen in my life. What do we do with the men? They're done for. I don't know. He says, hearing that just made my heart drop. I feel you. But man, I've looked up so much of this stuff that I've gotten jaded to a lot of it. It's like depending on what kind of mood I'm in when I'm hearing it, sometimes I just be like, damn. And sometimes I let out an SKC laugh. I depending on how I'm feeling. Asking 12-year-old girls, can you build a community? Made it clear. Put the dots as close as possible so they can make the connection. A community is a collection of families. Can you build a strong community without men? They thought about it, and then you said, yes, you can. Okay, well, what happens to the men? I guess they done for. I don't know. We just need a. What the 12-year-old girl is saying is, we just need their semen. She may not have the vocabulary. I mean, they've been through sex education, so she probably do got the vocabulary. This 12-year-old girl is basically just saying, we need their semen, and then we got it from here. That's what that 12-year-old girl is saying. Again, I said it again. And, I hated all the hate that Kevin Samuels got when he was at his peak, when he was at his height. But he went on there every day, regardless of what you got to say about him. He went on there every day, in my assessment, clearing the black man's name. Not saying that we're just innocent of everything, but it's some shit baked into the cake, into the culture that's going on with the women that you can't do a whole lot with that. Shout out to Hood Conservative. There is no table. You notice I never make that argument. You've never heard me say, something about women coming back to the table. I don't know what the table is. Whenever I've had a conversation about a damn table, I'm like, what is the table? Explain the table. What are you even talking about with a table? It's like I don't understand. I don't understand what the table is and what it represents and what, I don't get to table talk. I really don't. But all right, let's go. I didn't even got to the main topic, but this part was so good. What you mean BGS dies? No, simps die when they hear shit like that. Don't. Yeah. I think BGS's argument is that they've come back to the table because, BGS lies about the table. Oh, BGS does. Oh, BGS does. Okay. I understand there are people that mention it. I see 2 names in the chat room of people that mention it. I think BGS argument is more or less times has got hard, recession, she-session, all of that. I don't say they coming back to the table, but I don't talk about it. I don't make a big production out of it. There's a few people that I've shown privately, some of the evidence for it that there are some chicks that I used to mess with who on some hard times doing some hey big head texting and all that I just hell no, nope absolutely not, no way Jose, no can do, no mas. but I think that's what he's talking about. Shit then got bad to where chicks getting evicted, they need somewhere to stay. And I saw somebody mention Obsidian. Obsidian has talked about coming back to the table to horse trade and negotiate and all of that. So yes, there is some talk about that. Okay, the people that like to straw man the space, like to exaggerate that and make it seem like that's what the whole space is doing, is trying to beg women to come back to the table and act right and do this so we can be together, so we can be a family. Like no. What this space is doing is telling men to operate, act, behave, and move in their best interest, and we're arming them with the information to let them know what the fuck is going on. Like I said plenty of times, what we do is we do a male-centric, I'll even say a black male-centric response, counterpunch, and clapback to the female-centric bullshit and propaganda that gets put out there. You want to know what that female-centric bullshit and propaganda? Hell, I got an example right here right here that I've played earlier in the stream. We're doing a clapback to the bullshit. What is the bullshit? Here's the bullshit. This is a universal just example that applies to all people, but we get it. This is we clapping back to bullshit dogma that we've been inceptioned with. This is what we clapping back to.
I'm wrong, and Laura's right. This is a really easy one. Laura's right. That's simple. Thank you very much. That one seemed obvious to me. Believe it or not, from here, it gets complicated. Okay, if we're both right, it doesn't matter. Laura's right. Thank you very much. That's the key. I would rather be happy than be right. That's what I'm thinking. If I'm right and Laura's wrong, doesn't matter. Laura's still right. And if we're both wrong, Donna's wrong.
If you didn't follow that, he's basically saying the husband is wrong. The husband is wrong and the wife is right and the wife is right. If the husband is right and the wife is right, then guess what? The wife is right. Now, if the husband is right and the wife is wrong, then guess what? The wife is right. And if the husband is wrong and the wife is wrong, then guess what? The husband is wrong. That's the kind of bullshit that's been put out there. Like that right there prior to the manosphere, that's what used to pass as advice for men until before the manosphere showed up. Yeah, who jargon, the self-deprecating hubby. The self-deprecating hubby. Yeah. That's what used to pass as advice.
They're just done for.
Manosphere showed up and gave men a new path. that previous shit, that old shit, that ain't gonna go, that ain't gonna cut it. That ain't going to cut it. But that's what we do. That's what we do. We give a male-centric counterpunch or clap back to the female-centric propaganda and the female-centric propaganda and bullshit against men. I'll say that again. We do a male-centric clap back or counterpunch to the female-centric bullshit and propaganda against men. Does some conversations take place about men and women in a social contract of some sort that ripped and shredded? Does that get talked about? Yes. Is that the core? Excuse me. Hold on. Is that the core point of the space to try to beg women to do something? No. It's about arming men with the information that they need to be informed and make their best decisions for themselves.
They can just go work. They can just
The men will work and just gives all the single moms the money.
No, I mean like the men can go work for their own.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So go ahead.
Let's
Like
back up.
she said, we can build a community with like,
just single moms.
Well, you said build a family, and I mean like not all families.
I said, because of community. I said we're gonna build a community, and a community is a collection of families.
But
so can we really build a strong community with just single moms?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So go ahead. So what do we do with all the men then? That's the second part of the question.
What do we do out of men?
Yeah, because you said we're gonna build families and communities with just single moms.
Well, they're done for. I don't know.
The men are just done for.
Yeah,
Okay.
they can just go work. They can just
The
go.
men will work and just gives all the single moms the money.
No, I mean like the men can go work for their own money. The single moms
And
are
then they'll work
independent
for their
women.
money.
Yeah.
Okay, because they independent.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I think.
Now, okay, let's pump the brakes. that was some black pill shit she threw out there. She's basically saying men just do their own thing and make their own money, go work for their own money, and the women just go over there and go work for their own money and do their own thing. And like she's preaching some separation. I mean, the 12-year-old girl is saying, y'all do y'all thing, worry about yourself, we worry about ourselves. All right. All right. That's what she on, but watch where it go. Cause it's like she said that, but there's you about to hear the asterisk.
The men should probably just like do what they want, and then maybe if a single mom needs a dad, then they can just.
Did y'all catch that? This 12-year-old girl said, no, the men go make their own money, go do what they want and take care of themselves. We make our own money and we take care of ourselves and our kids. She was beating her chest and grabbing her nuts. Like, hey, we got it. But let me smuggle in a little stepdaddy bailout plan. Let me just smuggle in a little stepdaddy bailout plan. Let me just smuggle it in. The 12-year-old girl is at the negotiating table saying, we can do it without a husband. We can raise a kid by ourselves, but we don't want to eliminate from the deal the stepdaddy bailout plan. That's still on the table. Include that into the negotiation, and we got a deal. That's what that was. You're hearing it out of the mouths of 12-year-old girls, basically making we good, we can take care of ourselves, we can have a community just fine, we just need y'all semen, we can take care of ourselves. However, in the event that we can't take care of ourselves, come on back. Not the man who impregnated us. No. Just any man who, just come dive on this grenade. Just come dive on this grenade. They're 12 years old making the same exact arguments.
So remember, my question was, okay, so we're gonna build this community of just single moms. Well, what do we do with all the men? And they were like, I don't know, they done for it. We don't need the men. So I'm gonna ask another follow-up question. Okay, like, so what are men good for then? All right, so let's see how they react to this. Let's see.
Find one.
Okay. So then I got another question. Then so
I mean, like, not.
so what you're basically saying, the men are only good enough to produce the baby. After that, we discard them, and we have a family and a community with just single moms.
Huh?
How is that? That's what you're saying.
Okay.
So, because remember, you started off by saying, yes, it's good.
Sodomy and the chicken in the building with a $2 super chat. He says, so BR, where the white women at? They on Fresh and Fit in the whatever podcast saying a lot of the same bullshit. But but no, there are cultural differences, you know. In this modern American Western world, everything is on the bell curve, and I think the black bell curve of this type of thought is more pronounced. But in American Western culture, this exists. This exists. Like, you know, I'm not the doom and gloom dude because, you know, hell, I mean, women are emotional creatures, and it's possible to, you know, just the same emotions that cause them to do stupid shit that don't make no sense. Those same emotions can get, you know, targeted on a man, and they will just, you know, go all out for one man and just love the shit out of that one man. And provided that they're not crazy and like brick through the window, a crazy type of love type of chick, that, you know, it's possible. It's possible to have a chick, you know, that will go all out for you. It's possible, but again, I put it like this. This is why. And I think SKC talks about this. In order for something to actually be good advice, it has to be scalable on a macro level. There's no macro advice I can give. I can give a man individual advice, and that individual advice may just, it could possibly lead to him, you know, just being single and successful and doing his own thing, you know. But in the event that you do find something suitable, basically, in the event that you do find something suitable, you know, go with it if it suits your needs. You find something suitable, go with it if it suits your needs. All right. On a large macro scale, there's no large macro advice that I can give that results in, you know, modern American men operating in a traditional, being a traditional man with modern women does not work. And unfortunately, that's where we're at. This market, this whole dating and mating economy is generally bad, but every man is affected. Every man is not affected at the same level. I'll just say that. So if you could do the things to mitigate the topsy-turviness of it for you, then by all means do it. But far as large scale macro advice that could help, that we can prescribe this and everybody do this, and this will be the result in the outcome, generally speaking, for everybody. It's no way to do that. So it's just an individual law of the jungle. So that's why you do gotta lean in the direction of black male sovereignty until the culture changes. Well, men are supposed to be the ones who change the culture. Okay. But in an egalitarian, non-patriarchal country where every form of media is pushing things in a particular direction, there's no large-scale changing of the culture. You only can change the culture in your own house and how you move and how you operate and what you will allow in and what you won't allow in. And that will ultimately result, that may ultimately result in you not having this traditional thing. It may very well result in you just, it may result in you just being a happy single man. That's what it is. But shout out to you. Appreciate you dropping the $2 super chat on it. Do appreciate
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
Oh, everybody asking for the link. SKC, what did I say that you could possibly disagree with? I said there's no prescription on a macro scale. Given the current culture, an individual can make decisions, and those decisions that may lead to black male sovereignty. I mean, those decisions would essentially amount to. Hell, I made a fucking SYSBM argument. What do you mean you disagree? If I'm talking about black male sovereignty and doing what's best for you and what suits you, I made a SYSBM argument. I just didn't say SYSBM. The hell? Yeah, this is gonna be the topic. I'm gonna change the topic and tweak the thumbnail. I ain't gonna even get to the Janet Jackson shit because I'm almost 2 hours in. Shout out to Captain Cisco in the building. He said you need to debate Ruslan KD. He like to bring red pill guys he can defeat easily. I don't know nothing about that dude. I you know what? I take that back. I do know something about him. I recently saw him in a discussion with the lead attorney. It was from a while ago, but it popped up on my timeline. Lead attorney clipped it, and lead attorney kind of cooked him in a debate about the child custody laws. He kind of cooked him in a debate about the child custody laws. But yeah, I gotta make a new thumbnail and a new title because this is it. Hoop Jargon said he disagreed with SKC disagreeing. All right, I'm about to roll through the rest of the tape pretty fast. And I'm bringing people up. We're gonna talk about this one.
Good for these strong, independent women to just have these babies, and then we're gonna build a strong community with just single moms. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
so I said, you're saying then the man is only good to produce the baby. They serve no other purpose. You're saying.
Yeah, I feel like they're just.
Yeah.
See how she said, yeah, and as she's talking, the other two are thinking. They're like, I don't know, this don't sound right. And that's the whole point of this, is to get them to think about these things that they typically don't think about. Because they're getting these messages from the media, from their parents, from their cousins, from their friends, and nobody's asking them to actually, nobody's challenging those ideas. And that's all I'm here doing. So let's see how these young ladies continue to speak.
They have reasons to be in the family, but
you said they're not. That's why I said you must be saying we have no other value other than producing babies.
I mean, you can help take care of the baby, but then the women can do that by themselves because the women are independent.
Okay. And you're saying this is going to produce a strong community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Again, and I said, so single moms all by themselves.
They're making the you can help with the baby argument. The remote father. Yeah, I remember when I had that chick Annette on. She's from the UK, and she was talking about, she basically made the same argument. We called it the remote father because her kids are from, the father of her children from Nigeria, and he still live in Nigeria. And she was basically saying, in so many words, she was saying she good. She just got to get him on the phone to yell, and then that's it. And then the kids will straighten up. That's all it's like. And so, yeah. They're basically saying that they're not needed. They can help out a little bit. They could do the uncle dad thing. They could pitch in. Oh, we're gonna go do the system. We're gonna get a little bit of that child support. They're like, these should be worst come to worst scenarios. Not, oh yeah, everything good. We got it. Yeah, that shouldn't be it. That shouldn't be it. Single women are a threat to a democracy. Well, this democracy that we live in panders and placates to them in every way, shape, or form. But thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. We are almost almost through with this. Almost through with this.
This is going to produce a strong community. She says yes. Let's see what the other girls say.
You don't see an issue with this either? This is good logical thinking.
Probably, yeah. I mean, the men have used doing some things, but.
So I asked her, is this good logical thinking that we can build this community, a strong community with just single moms? And she says, yes, that sounds right.
Okay, before we continue, are y'all Christians? Are y'all parents Christians?
Now, the reason I'm asking them if they are Christian is because the lady from Haiti said she was Christian, and in the Christian faith, they don't teach that, you should have babies outside of marriage. So I'm asking them. So let's see how they respond.
I don't know.
You don't know?
What
about yours?
Yeah.
So
we're gonna put the link in the chat. I think the most interesting parts have already been laid out, but we can put the link in the chat. I'll play the rest of it while y'all gradually make y'all way on up here. Appreciate everybody in the building. Support the live stream. Hit the like button. Let's get this thing
in
going.
The Christian religion, they preach we can have single parent homes, and that's gonna help build a strong community. That's Christian life. Fornication, having babies out of wedlock, that's a part of the Christian faith?
No, not really.
Okay. So
now they recognize it. Nah, that's not what they say in church.
Y'all don't want to backtrack yet? Doesn't sound like it's matching up with your values.
Okay, so I'm backtracking just a little bit.
Okay, good.
Because
I hope
so I still think that it's okay for the women to have a child, like if she's not married, but. I feel like the man should be involved with the child's life because the child needs a father.
Okay, but we ain't talking about that. We're talking about, because remember the question is, should women intentionally do this? Would that be good? And y'all all said yes.
They should not intentionally have a child without the father or by themselves.
Do you agree with that? Or are you still sticking by it's good and okay for these women to do that?
I have some agreements with Amaya, and then I have some disagreements.
What's the disagreement? Because I'm not arguing that a woman can't raise a child, doesn't have the ability. I'm asking, does that help build a strong family and community?
If a woman was to build a community by herself, and then
can that happen? So are you suggesting we can have a community with just women and their kids?
Well,
is that a
I don't
community?
know if you're talking about is it like a Christian thing? Because
No. If we y'all learning about Islam, right? Do you think in Islam they would allow women to intentionally get married and intentionally have a baby without being married?
I don't think so.
No, because they realize that doesn't build a community. A community is not one gender.
So I'll stop it right there. They were in class. They were going over Islam. They were learning about the Islam.
All right. We're going to stop it right there. And again, I'm going to have to change the title in the thumbnail. I'm going to have to change that title in that thumbnail. But, yeah. So we are joined by Sir Tice. Oh, hold on. Damn it. I thought I had him. Joined by Sir Tice, who got background. Always got background.
You know what it is? It's my computer is right close to the mic. When I hear this, is it better now?
No, I gotta talk. See, when I talk, I hear like a little womp 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 womp. But either way it go, just mute up when you're not talking. How about?
No, I got you. I want to set up something for a screen share. So if Hood wants to go first, he can. And then my screen share will be ready. It'll be brief. It's not a video. It's just a document that'll prove all that. I'll be real short, but I'll defer to Hood for right now.
All right, go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic. Hood Service. Right. What's going on, man?
What up, Bernard? First off, and I feel like this is it's weird how the universe works sometimes. I've been doing streams in this vein. The last 2 streams I did, the other day it was red pills, black pills, and fight clubs. And that's where I pretty much obliterated the whole table argument. Like, because I was listening to BGS and Obsidian, they were on the breakdown, and BGS had I
Oh, this was
had actually a couple.
wait. Hold on. This was recently.
I had a couple interactions with BGS recently about this. He had did a stream in which he said that women. I know I didn't get a chance to come. I didn't get a chance to come on the stream. I watched the stream, and frankly, he was making. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
No,
BGS.
I'm curious. Hold on, wait. I'm curious. What argument was he making?
He called me out in the sense that we had a conversation. It wasn't even an argument. We had a conversation, and then one of the points he made I disagree with, basically saying that modern life automatically means we're going to have feminism. And I was like, bullshit. The Amish, they will choose ideology over modernity. And then if you look at like a Hasidic community, there is no diversity and there is no rainbow flags in Hasidic communities. So the idea that modern life automatically equates to feminism, that was the issue that he called me out on a stream later. But then if you listen to a stream, he basically made my argument. He was making my argument. You can choose to reject modernity in the modern world. You don't have to do all these goofy things. And the key he was making it was the key point he made was those groups I mentioned, they took their kids out of school. Like, you have to control the narrative entirely. But anyway, look. BGS and Obsidian, they were having a conversation about this women coming back to the table thing, and that was on the breakdown. They were kind of expounding on those ideas. And so when I did my stream the next day, Red Pills, Black Pills, and Fight Clubs, I basically came to this conclusion: there is no goddamn table. What the fuck are you old niggas talking about? There has never been a table, and we didn't get to this point by negotiating away our rights as men across some imaginary table. Women have never sat across the table from men and hammered out the order of things. That's never how it worked. That's never been how it worked. Men have created a system, and because men attract women and men care for women, and we actually do love y'all funky hoes, we create space for y'all in the system. But there has never been a situation where women were at the table negotiating how things work. And the minute men trust women to negotiate reality with them, you're going to die. That's what happens when you trust women's opinions on reality. You'll die. And they might even live. And that's the crazy part about it. So there is no table. That whole thing is ridiculous. And then now looking at today's video, which these girls you just played. So last night I was having a conversation, and it was a little bit somber because I told a couple of personal anecdotes. And the conversation last night was single mothers and sons and the social contract. And the question I posed was, in a house with no fathers, what are you telling your boys about their place in this world? And the conversation that you're playing right now is highlighting that problem. Even these women can't envision a place in this world for their own sons because they reject fathers, and they're going to have a son more than likely. One of them is going to have a son. And you're basically telling this boy that he's good for sperm and he'll pick things up and put them down. That's essentially what you're telling your sons. And so I'm like, well, in this paradigm, there is no fucking social contract. Fuck the social contract. Let your bitches get old and die miserable.
Yeah. Yeah. That was how I'm more or less, like, for example, just a throwback to Kevin Samuels, get a dog and die alone. That was the conclusion. I mean, like, he was basically doing exit interviews with chicks who done made their decision, who done chose their lot in life, and they still standing in it on the fuckery. So it's like, hey, no, hands off, get a dog, die alone. And so yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I'm with you 100% on that. But Sir Tice, you had something.
Yeah, it's sharing right now. Let me. You can go.
Hold on, I'll pull it up.
And as you pulling it up, salute everybody. Salute Free SKC. Everybody in the chat. Happy Tuesday. So this document here, some of the critics of this space love to say we just take things out of context, or this is just a natural evolution of things. Well, I'm going to say that's all bullshit. Black people are basically the petri dish of these various social experiments. And what I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to hop off or what have you, but this document is from Frederick Jaffe, who was the vice president of Planned Parenthood. By the way, Little Big Nate, I see you in the chat. I want a round of applause, 21 gun salute or whatever from you, especially. This is right up your alley or what have you. Anyways, Franklin Jaffe is writing to Bernard Burleson. I'll try to enlarge it here. We're not going to go through the whole letter because I got the important parts highlighted anyway. This is a 9-page memo about population control, right? So it goes into various things. It talks about the African community or African American community and things like that. Economic incentives to fertility. You see where my mouse is right there. So this gets very deep. But what sparked me to bring this up was this point. At the very end of the document, it's this. Let me bring this over here. And I highlighted these. When I hear those little girls, I think they were all girls, right? Or was it any little boys?
Yeah, no, that was all girls. That was all girls.
Yeah. When I hear those little girls, and I'm wondering, how in the hell can a 12-year-old be that goddamn indoctrinated to be saying this nonsense? But when we go through the highlights of basically what are the points here, they want to encourage rainbow flag. I won't say the H word. Educate for family limitation. You see that right there where my mouse is. Encourage women to work. Oh, right here. Here's up Nate's alley. Compulsory abortion of out of wedlock pregnancies or whatever. And then in the housing area, discourage private home ownership. Stop awarding public housing based on family size. Basically discouraging family size. Parents to encourage sterility. Payments to encourage abortion. So, and by the way, each of these points, I just wanted to highlight those because those hit you. This isn't some small staffer writing some, nobody. The Rockefeller Foundation was is the second biggest foundation to this day in this country. Okay. So I'm just saying all this stuff we're hearing, it's not by design. I see Pablo in the chat. It's over for niggas. I'm sorry. It is. You can't come back from this. And that's all I got to say with the proof. And I'll put the link to the entire document if anyone would like to see it.
All right. Good stuff. Let me pull it and get. All right, here we go. No, but shout out to you, Sir Tice. Good info. Yeah, you need email me that. Definitely email me that. All right, we got hold on before I go to SKC. Yeah, before I go to SKC, Sodomy and Chicken says BGS was correct. Feminism comes with an advanced society. I don't think men don't have to support it politically, bend or yield to it, especially in their own goddamn household. That sort of goes back to what I was saying. There's no macro prescription. There's no workable macro prescription, but there's individual prescriptions. That's where I'm at with it.
Bernard, have you ever driven through a Hasidic community? I was making this point when I was on the panel with BGS, and we didn't get a chance to really hash it out at length. But basically, I thought it was just a Brooklyn thing. Being a New Yorker, you go certain neighborhoods in New York City, it's like obviously a Jewish community, right? Just you can see by how they dress or whatever. And so now I'm driving this truck all over West Bubblefuck, and I see all these different communities, and they are Hasidic communities, just like what I see in Brooklyn. And just like in Brooklyn, whether it's upstate New York or it's in different pockets in New Jersey, when you drive through these communities, you do not see Pride Month. And not only do you not see Pride Month, you see women with children in tow. You see the school children doing, normal school children stuff. The women are mothers and wives and moms. The men work. And they live in 2023. They all have cell phones and drive Mercedes. So like this idea that automatically you have to adopt the rules of feminism to live in the modern world.
Wait, time out. I wasn't saying that.
No, but that's what's said on the screen. That's what's said on screen right now. I'm responding to the comment, not you directly.
Oh shit! I didn't read the whole comment. But okay. BGS was correct. Feminism comes with an advanced society. The more Africa develops, the more feminism will root. You see it in Japan and South Korea. Okay.
Now, my counter to BGS.
Go ahead.
Well, the point I was making
before you go, I just want to make sure that we're clear on my position, because I'm in agreement with you, because you're talking about communities that has separated from the larger culture, or maybe they was always separated. So if you're talking about somebody separating from the larger culture and building,
they haven't separated totally. They've separated from some of the negative things, but they still live in Brooklyn. Like, because you say the Amish, the Amish have separated.
What I mean by separate, you gotta have a strong culture, draw hard lines on what's in and what's out from this pocket of culture that we got, and then we're gonna build and grow out our communities from there. You could do that.
Correct.
And then in that situation, there is a macro prescription of how you can live. And if you do this, that, and this other thing, you could generally expect this result. So no, I'm not. So when I say that, and I didn't hear what BGS was talking about, but if we're saying that aspects of feminism is going to be prevalent in a modern advanced culture, I think that statement is a true statement. But it does not mean that the men need to bend and yield to it. It doesn't mean that we bend the knee and say, okay, so let's all right, let's be cool with this flamboyant shit over here. Let's be cool with this. Let's go with that. No, it's gonna be differences within the culture. It's gonna be, I don't want to say civil wars, but it's always gonna be a culture war, so to speak. It's always going to be a culture war and a de facto secession, so to speak, where I think some people who live in a certain way are going to separate and say, this is what we doing over here. Y'all go do that shit over there in San Francisco. I think it's very possible that on a large scale that could happen countrywide, damn near, but no, I don't, in no way, shape, or form do we got to bend the knee to it if that ain't what you rock with and that ain't how you roll and that ain't what you think makes sense.
Let me finish the thought, right? Because this is the moment that BGS and I were in. So he is saying that feminism is just a natural byproduct of modernity, and I'm saying no. It's actually we are in the ideological grip of something. It's not just a natural course of events. And so when Sir Tice produces a document like that, which I know BGS is probably aware of these sort of initiatives that have nothing to do with running a business or running a government, yet business and government are behind these initiatives, then it's not just a natural the natural growth of a technologically advanced society. These are the ideas of certain people who have taken a dominant position behind the scenes. And that's why we're in the position we're in. And you'll see all kinds of little documents like that with Sir Tice produced. And, a lot of it would be considered conspiracy theory, but the World Economic Forum just wrote a book about their plans for the next 100 years. And I don't think it's a conspiracy to say that, no, this is how some people want it.
Let me add this about the World Economic Forum, because many people like to claim it's just an idea and things. The World Economic Forum is why Canada has its prime minister, I believe. Trudeau. Okay. And the guy in California, what's his name? What's the governor's name? Come on, Freeman, you might know. I can't think of his name off the top.
Gavin Newsom?
Yeah, thank you. He is a product of the World Economic Forum. This stuff is written. And by the way, I won't even address that in the chat right now. I'll just wait till they respond. So go ahead. I just want to add that in, that, yes, these plans are being devised. And, that's the whole thing. It's kind of a slow roll. They'll wait 50 years for these things to get implemented. Then you'll have a president that'll supercharge the Rainbow Initiative. I won't say who,
All right. Great Britain in the building says the document proves they were invested and women being able to choose what to do with their own bodies. No, just playing. All right. SKC.
These last $2. I'm not gonna lose.
SKC in the building. SKC in the building. I'm glad you came up. I knew this topic would. Sir Tice, you got to mute up. I think that's you. Yep, it was you. But yeah. Oh, so SKC in the building.
No, I was muted.
No, I just muted you, and when you came back, it came back. Well, we ain't got to debate about it. All right, but all right, SKC in the building. I had a feeling this topic would summon you. I definitely do. I'm definitely interested to see you do some handiwork on this video. I'll send it to you. I don't even know if RM. Oh yeah, she putting it in the chat room. So hopefully you copied and pasted. So I like to see some of your handiwork on this video. But go ahead. You have the floor. You have the mic.
Oh, well, what's going on, Bernard and everybody?
What's happening?
Yeah, I think the only thing that I disagreed with you on is in my opinion, a common mistake that goes throughout the entire Black manosphere is a small lapse in logical consistency.
Explain.
Okay, so for some reason, here, like people say, well, the Black manosphere is necessary because Black culture is different. It has certain nuances that need to be discussed that you really can't discuss it in other places, such and such. And I get that. I'm like, okay, that's the logic. That let's follow that to its conclusion. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, when subjects like these come up, sometimes people make the overarching comment of, yeah, see, this is all where American culture is going, and everybody in American culture is, and I'm like, okay, you just stated that Black culture is different and it has various nuances that are, and that's why there was a need for the Black manosphere, and I'm like, okay. But then,
did you hear me when I said?
But then when it comes to these situations with relationships and particularly marriages and all that other stuff, oh yeah, it's all American culture. You can't really give an answer, and it's like, no, I disagree.
SKC, you didn't hear me say that though. I'm pretty sure you heard me when I said everything is on a bell curve, and our bell curve is more fucked up. But things in the West are moving in the direction of not ideal, but for Black people, it's even more fucked up.
Yeah,
All right, so then why you doing this to me?
No, I'm not doing it to you. I'm not doing it to you.
But you heard? No, yes, you are, because you in the chat room said you disagree. No, you just said right here you disagree with me. But even
I'm not. I'm just attacking the idea. I'm not attacking you. I'm using your words.
I know, but it's my idea that you're attacking. But my idea made it clear that Western culture is going to hell in a handbasket. Even white men are saying that. However, on a bell curve, black people, if they're going to hell in the handbasket, we already dipped our toe in it. They headed there. Our toe is dipped in it. If not, if we ain't full blown splashing cannonball style into it. So I mean, that's what I meant when I said on a bell curve.
All right. Well, to clear up the matter, to make it a bit more clear, what I'm saying is this: not only is the culture trash,
mm-hmm.
the culture is part of the virus of Western culture that people are banging against. You're no longer a part of, oh, there's something to be saved. No, Black culture is now the parasite. It's the virus.
Yeah.
So when I look at data and stating things like people will say, oh, okay, well, in Black subculture, 70% of the kids or more are born in single parent households, and then I look at the statistics that show that American culture, 69% of the kids are in 2-parent households, then that means the subculture is part of the problem. The subculture is working against what the other people are trying to preserve.
Right. Yeah. You're talking to somebody whose channel is built on showing that the fuckery of the outcomes of the fuckery of black culture. So we are 100% in agreement.
Right. So hearing this thing of a 12-year-old stating, "Oh yeah, the baby Bobbyism is okay," and blah blah blah, it's like, of course they're gonna say that. They've been zombified at this point. If you find something that is, I would say, that people would say would be salvageable and so forth, that's an anomaly if it's coming out of black subculture.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I disagree with you with.
Where do you disagree?
Well, okay, you remember a long time ago when we had the discussion about creating like a small black utopia, and you're just like, okay, you know, you have like the black people that move in like the same area and they have the same mind, and you think that it could possibly be possible for something like that to grow and they do their own thing. Well, I think that experiment has been shown up in like PG County now, and PG County is even showing that their black flight has started. People from PG County are moving to Charles County to get away from the niggas.
Yeah, because okay, I don't.
It was once the richest. And it was once the richest county in the United States, and now the richest people in that county are moving to Charles County.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Let me make sure I understand it right. You said PG County was the richest county in the United States. I mean, I take it these were white people in this rich county?
No, the richest black county in the United States.
Okay. The richest black county in the United States. And then what happened amongst these, I guess, upper middle class and upper class blacks? Did
the richest among them started to flee to Charles County, which is now the richest county. And the reason that they're doing that is because the juvenile problem in PG County is gotten so bad that the state attorney there is now pushing to legislation.
Is it low income?
No, it is not. It is not. It's not low. It's not low income.
Black kids born in upper middle class households are breaking into the upper class households.
Do you want me to play the? Do you want me to play the clip from the head of PG County? She stated about a week ago. She stated she laid out close to 40 different programs that they had initiated there in Prince George County to help. They poured $2.8 billion into education, several hundreds of $1 million into all sorts of various programs, and she states, and it didn't work. They need to change legislation to make parents accountable for their kids in criminal ways.
SKC, I don't know the full history.
All right, just real quick, and I just want to back up. I just want to back up real quick. When you said I was talking about some black, did you say I said something about a black utopia?
No. You didn't say utopia, but you were saying, back in the day when we had that conversation. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure what I said is that, what naturally tends to happen, black people who are doing better, they move out of the hood, they go to somewhere that's sort of more suburban, and I'm thinking that black people with their head can live just fine next to other black people with their head on straight. That part right there, I'll be shocked if that doesn't work. Even though I mean it does, but I gotta look up PG County. What's going on out there?
What conclusion should one derive from this? You're saying that black people shouldn't create healthy families and get together?
Before he answers, SKC, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to answer a quick question to preface that.
Well, I mean, but we're stacking questions. I mean, like.
Well, no, it fits into the question.
Answer, then question again. How about?
Well, let him. I mean, GC slipped his question in first, so let's just go ahead and let him answer it.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm saying that the culture now is anti-family.
No, we understand that. However, if we say something that's pro-family and what a family should do in order to create a family culture, then we can agree to agree at that point.
Well, you can't create a family culture in a culture that is anti-family.
I know. That's why you create a family culture that is not anti-family culture, because it's a family culture.
And then at that point, it will no longer be considered black culture.
It would be a black culture that's a family culture, SKC, because that's what you created.
Okay, but if we want to go by the demographics right now,
we don't want to.
Black demographics shows that black people do not promote a culture of family, of intact families.
Once again, this is a topic of what should we do to solve this problem. See, every time the solution comes up, you restate the problem. The solution.
Continue. I want to see where you're going with this. Continue.
Yeah, I am. Okay. So the solution is to create a family culture. That's what we're talking about. It seems
okay, and how? Okay, how has anybody promoted a family culture?
Well, isn't that what Bernard was doing when he was saying that, getting together and creating small pockets of family community, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
No, actually, what he was stating today is that he understands that cannot be stated on a macro level when it comes to the community.
What he just described what he just described wasn't macro. If smaller groups of people are doing it, that's micro.
Right, micro. But it cannot be accomplished on a macro level because the overarching culture is against it.
Yeah,
you would have to fight against black culture in order to have a intact family unit.
You are talking to us like we got kufis on our head and some dashiki wearing we not the dashiki wearing save the community niggas. I would love for you to go find them and debate with them instead of trying to shoehorn me into that.
I'm not.
Only thing I'm talking about is like what Game Changer said is that, hey, black people who got their head on straight and build a family within their household, move the fuck away from the bullshit, and then if other black people do the same thing, then okay, then that's a small segment of black people that are promoting a good black family culture, and I generally think that's a good thing. We can debate the prospects of it working and why it don't work, which is
why I brought up PG County.
I don't understand like why we do this collectively. We as black people, like somebody's planting a garden in their backyard, and then somebody says, "Oh yeah, but the rainforest is burning," or some crap like this. Like really, that's is the solution to not plant the garden? Like why is that mentioned in this particular context? Like that.
Oh, I'll answer. I thought that people went by the whole red pill thought process. Where they actually speak what's really occurring in real time.
Mm-hmm. The topic is two things that's occurring in real time. One thing that's occurring in real time, if we go to my analogy, is a person is planting a garden in their backyard. Another thing that's occurring in reality, in real time, is the deforestation of Earth. These are two things. Now, these aren't necessarily related, but unless the solution to the problem of deforestation is to not plant a garden in your backyard, I don't see the purpose of mentioning it. But that's just me.
All right. And I understand it. But what I'm stating overall is that when people try to bank everything on quote unquote just black, that's where a lot of issues come in, and that's why I was giving PG County as a test case. You had the richest county in all of the United States, and the very issues that I'm bringing up are happening there.
Yeah, no, I understand that. There is a problem in PG County. Once again,
and we can't say that funds are the issue. We
Of
can't
course we
say
can. We not the funds is the issue.
No,
We
no,
not
I'm just saying
We not
overall.
the policy. Policy will change the community, niggas. We agree with you. That is culture. We can agree to agree.
exactly.
Okay,
And
so what is the problem with PG County?
Well, I mean, we're bringing up a separate thing.
I don't know nothing about PG County.
Yeah, exactly. We're bringing up a separate thing. I mean, you know, we're saying that there's a problem in the culture, and you know what Bernard was talking about earlier was, you know, creating small you know, sub communities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, and I can understand where Bernard was going with that, but these were two separate conversations. Like it's I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd be very curious if PG County devolved. I think you got an echo, or somebody does, but
Someone has an echo.
I think it might be GC now. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna mute you, GC, and we're gonna see if that's you. And I think it is. Nope, sir. Well, it might have been a combination of both of y'all, but I still hear it. I still hear it right now. What about this real quick? Jockey's Retro says, excuse me, they talk about the richest parts of PG County, not the county as a whole. Like, because I can imagine a situation where if it's the richest black community ever, I could imagine a situation where the richest of black people don't want to be living around, like upper class blacks don't want to be living around upper middle class blacks. I can imagine that, but I don't know that much about it. But if shit is culturally fucked up in a well-to-do black community, then okay, the culture is fucked up. Yeah, you preaching to the choir over here.
Yeah, that's something we all agree on.
well, it's because we follow European culture, is what I'm reading in the chat right now. But hey, I didn't say it.
Man, I would love for SKC to go and round up people who say shit like that and have that discussion. It would be a great discussion between people who actually disagree. It would be beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't see what the take for instance, like the 12-year-old who's went off on the crazy talk and so forth. Yeah, that's the default setting. It's not shocking. That's the default setting. It is what it is.
What age could somebody say that stuff that you was hearing? Hold on, let me. All right, Sir Tyson, mute up. Okay, I think I got it. Sir Tyson, Game Changer, kind of mute up whenever y'all not talking, until we figure out who it is. What age could somebody say that stuff and you not be like, damn? Like,
from the community, none. That's what I'm stating is
so 4 years old. 4 years old. 4 years old.
Yes, because you've gotten to the point of where you're now part of the problem that is attacking. The subculture is part of the fire.
Yeah, we agree. The culture is fucked up. That's damn near what my whole channel was about. But all right, Freedman's Journal in the building. Oh shit, we got Pablo down here. We got Nate with a screen share. So we about to to get on into it. Go ahead.
Oh, it's gonna get juicy tonight. It's gonna get juicy today.
Yeah, all right, go ahead, Freedman.
Kind of, I guess what we're talking about now is going to come up with was the only hope for only semblance for a quote unquote black community is black men basically going their own way.
That's
right? Finding women, finding women that will marry them and have their children. Right. But that is not the existing community. That is something new. Right. That is something separate from what is existing. Mm-hmm. Right. Because there's no way to, cultivate that. Right. The forest got to burn. Right. And that's it really. And then you were talking about earlier how are men going to have a more traditional woman in a society in which everything's catering towards the women? And the simple answer is just consequences. Like literally, you can't put the genie back in the bottle, right? You're not going to quote unquote take away privileges, But what you need to hand out, and this is what you have to convince men to do, is just hand out the consequences, right? Somebody needs to sue the government over selective service as being discriminatory, right? You can't have selective service only apply to men. That's obviously discriminatory. Things like that, and the coming generation is more is not as sanguine on the social safety net, right? So that's gonna get cut, period, right? Welfare, all that, you already see it. Even culturally, they're not taking Section 8. So, but yeah, that was a while ago. So that's what I had to add.
All right, no, good stuff, and definitely agreed. But even what you're saying, I mean, if you think governmental change would fix things, then that is a way, I suppose, of pushing for a macro change. But if you're talking about handing out consequences individually, again, like I said, there are individual prescriptions that work. There are individual prescriptions that work, but there's no on the macro scale. It gets complicated. But go ahead, little big Nate.
Actually, if you want Pablo to go first, this clip is what I wanted to show you. It's not really long. It's about 6-7 minutes. But if Pablo will go first,
all right, I'll go.
I know it's long. I apologize, but it explains everything.
So
go ahead, Pablo.
So I think what SKC may have been trying to get at is that something akin to what I've titled cultural momentum, right? So cultural momentum would be of the community would be kind of like an attempt at trying to get Asians to stop eating rice. So you can't really get there from here. I guess is the point that SKC or the thought process that SKC may be going down.
When you say you can't get there from here, you mean like fixing the whole community?
Yes.
Oh, of course not. Nobody. Yeah, this is. Nobody. No, of course not. Of course you can't.
Okay. Here's the thing.
And he also forgot his own gem that he dropped on me several years ago about hope. People are entitled to have hope, and they will hold to that hope in spite of many different obstacles. And so you can't take away their hope, SKC. You got to let them have the hope.
Whose hope are you talking about?
Well, and the hope that the community could change course and become family oriented.
Well,
that hope.
See, here's the thing, Pablo SKC. It really doesn't matter. It's not about hope at that point, because what's going on here is that you see somebody trying to do something. I'm not saying anybody here on this particular panel. I have reservations against somebody who sees somebody doing something and then another group of people saying whatever goal it is you're going to attempt to accomplish is doomed to fail. And I just want to discourage that, because you see, that's the difference between letting something burn and attempting to burn it, or letting something burn and you see people out there with a fire extinguisher and you say, oh no, put that away. That's where we're moving in. We're moving into that territory. Now it's more, I want something to burn versus I am just sitting back and letting nature take its course.
Well, what about the person that runs from the burning fire and covers himself covers himself in a fire-resistant blanket? How about that?
I agree. I agree with that. And I do believe that brothers should do that. However, there are going to be those who don't. Let those who don't be. Like that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think we're going a bit too far now. It's not. I don't think anyone here is trying to discourage anyone from or trying to take a shovel out of anybody's hand. You know, nobody's going to anybody's home and stating, "Hey man, hey Bernard, break up with your woman. Break up with your." No, it's like no, nobody's doing anything like that. We're just having a discussion. It
Yeah,
just
might
came
as
up
well.
because I stated in the chat I disagree. That's it. And then it was like, hey, come up saying what you have to say about that. And that's it. That it's nothing so far as trying to physically stop someone from doing anything that they want to do.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, but
okay,
your
so
disagreement wasn't even a disagreement. I mean, it's
exactly.
to go with Game Changer's analogy. One person is doing something, and another person says, "Stop! That ain't gonna work." It's more like one person is doing something, and you're coming up and telling them something that they're not even necessarily doing isn't going to work. That's sort of what I say more so is going on. It's like it's just weird. Like if we were the people that were saying, "Oh, the community is fine," it's just racism, then what you're saying would make sense. We are the people that said the community is not fine, and we're sounding the alarm about what's wrong with it, and emboldening black men to move in their best interest. Like we're not your enemy.
So I mean, to what Game Changer was saying though, I know that absolutely doesn't count for me, because how in the world could I, as a passport bro, just say, okay, fuck it, give up? No, I found some other alternative to said problem. So no, I'm not saying throw in the damn towel in that sense.
No,
But what
Pablo.
I am saying, but what I am saying is that there may be a momentum that is so great as to make it untenable in the lifetime of an individual person to see noticeable change in the culture.
Agreed. That's why we are all in support of passport bros.
Right.
All right, that's all. That's all I was saying.
Y'all ready?
Now, as far as the culture that's being left, it may or may not change. I don't want to speak anything on the morale of those who wish to attempt to salvage it. Like, I mean, once again, letting something burn versus that. I mean, like to stand and look at a fire and say it's never going to go out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Attempting to put out that fire is like attempting to get Chinese people to stop eating rice, is really just trying to demoralize any effort for one to not be a passport bro and create their own family here.
I think what y'all need to do is, because this guy, the guy who made that video, he has a really small channel, less than 100,000. I mean, I'm sorry, less than 100 subs. I guarantee, SKC, if you reached out to him, he will probably respond. He will probably come on your show, and y'all will have a wonderful talk. Because I guarantee he's pro community all the way. I guarantee he's against interracial dating. I guarantee he's against passport bros. He's full community 100%. And he actually took the time to get out on the ground, boots on the ground, to talk to 12-year-old girls like that.
I'll be honest with you, Bernard.
That's probably your guy.
That's the default setting of all black men until they either become familiar with the.
But wait, hold on. Wait. I want to make sure that my point isn't missed.
Okay.
The type of what y'all are bringing towards me in Game Changer. That's the guy, the guy in that video. He's the one who holds the ideology that y'all are that y'all are like really fishing for to try to dig out and see. I don't know, to hear somebody that would be a good conversation between people who actually disagree. That's all I'll say. That'd be a good conversation instead of insisting that somebody is holding a position that they're not holding. And then, that would be that's the conversation that y'all need to fish out. And I guarantee he'll respond, because he added BGS just to try to get BGS attention. He wants somebody attention. He wants somebody to talk about this shit with him, because he got a small channel, less than 100 subs. So that's your guy. Go holler at him. It'd be a great conversation. I share it. But go ahead, Nate. You go hold on real quick. Passport OG in the building says we need these conversations. Thank you, Bernard. Absolutely 100%. Absolutely 100%. Little Big Nate, you got the floor. You got the mic.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, you know, that gentleman with the channel with a less than 100 subscribers, that his attitude is the default setting of all black men in this country until they either come in touch with the right side of the political spectrum or they enter in a space like this where they can begin to change their mind. All black men fall into their default settings of leftist ideology, saving the community.
We don't, Nate. We don't know. We don't know if this man is a liberal.
No. But Bernard, you got to let Bernard. It's not an insult to the gentleman. It's not.
No, what I'm saying is we don't know this man's politics. He could be a staunch down conservative.
Whoa, Bernard, I'm talking about black men.
Okay.
I'm not saying him. I didn't say him specifically. I'm saying that is black men's default setting. That's my point. All right. So
you just be charging everybody up. People will literally tell you,
bro, but 90% of black men are that.
I know, but when somebody will look you right in your eyes and tell you they voted for Trump, and you be like, "You leftist nigga." Like, all right, go ahead.
Bernard.
You got it.
Well, the only thing I'll say in response to that, Bernard, is I've been in this war for going on 20 years. I know leftist niggas. I'm sorry. I don't care if a nigga tells me who he voted for. If you're up here telling black men not to try, I know you're a leftist. I just know you are. So if I want to introduce this clip, it kind of gives us the answers to everything. Of course, you don't have to play the whole thing. This is a video taken by a preacher in 1925 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, after the race riot. This is what Tulsa looked like after the race riot.
You mean when it was rebuilt? That someone claimed that never happened here.
Never happened because and also I'm going to force this down the throat of the black fucking manosphere, just like I've forced conservatism down niggas' throats. The white man did not burn down Tulsa. The white Democrat did. You are going to have to understand that the white Democrat is your 200-year-old mortal enemy. I'm going to prove it to you. All you got to do is just listen to my channel and I'll fucking prove it to you. But I want you to watch this video. It's amazing.
Okay.
There was a pastor in Oklahoma named Solomon Sir Jones. He was able to film a lot of black life during this time. And
you see that troop of young ROTC black men walking with their American flag in the mid-1920s? I thought our ancestors were all brutalized and mistreated and hated America. Let's continue.
In Oklahoma. The riot happened in 1921. 1925, according to Solomon Sir Jones's footage, Black Wall Street was built back.
Doesn't that look like a beautiful black community of 1925? You know what all those people had in common? None of them were Democrats. They were all Republicans and conservatives. Let's continue.
Wait, hold on. Pause. Push pause, Nate.
Yeah.
Did they say this was after
1925?
Is that
this
after
is
it was
1925? Tulsa, Greensboro.
I'm only asking.
Yes.
I'm only asking before or after.
After the riot.
Okay.
The riot happened in 1921.
Okay,
this
got
is
it.
1925. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll continue.
And what you see is life is
beautiful black life, dignified black life, successful black life as Republicans.
as usual. After
young black boys with their American flag marching through their communities.
This so-called massacre.
Black young people playing, enjoying their company, and no crime, no murder.
And then you fast forward even to the 1940s.
Look at all those beautiful, smiling black girls that are going to go get married at 19, 20 years old to delivery men, to men working in the foundry, to construction workers. That ain't happening today, niggas. Black. I thought all of our great-grandmothers were miserable. I thought all of our great-grandmothers were abused and mistreated. Fucking liars.
See the same thing. Successful, happy.
I see a bunch of happy black people at the height of Jim Crow. Fucking liberal lying scum.
Well-to-do black folks.
You broke the contract for 400 years. We played your game and built your wealth. You broke the contract.
This is the nightmare we have to deal with today. The black Democrat female.
When we built our wealth again on our own by our bootstraps in Tulsa, and you dropped bombs on us.
This is the bitterness and this is the anger that these people hope to get out of.
Yes, sir.
Is this Larry Elder's Uncle Tom documentary?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I actually bought this.
Oh, you bought excellent.
About
excellent.
year and a half ago or so. Yeah, I actually bought it and watched it. It was real good. It was real good.
Yes, sir.
So let's I mean, I'm not trying to just completely shut down where you, but let's
no, if you want to, I'll shut it down if you want to.
No. Let's round it. Let's round it back to, you know,
bring it home, Nate.
As far as 12, land the plane on it because you know.
Okay, no problem.
I see. Hold on, wait. I see the connection. How it connects to the video that we played of the 12-year-old the 12-year-old girls basically talking a bunch of modern bullshit.
Bro, there are videos in this documentary of black women in the 1920s, 20-year-old girls, 20-year-old young women playing Ring Around the Rosie. All of them had smiles on their faces in playgrounds. Black youngsters driving around in their cars, everybody smiling, everybody happy. All these videos of black life in the 1920s up to the 1940s, everybody coupled up, everybody married while we were Republicans. I'm sorry. Y'all hate when I come up and I draw these goddamn lines between black existence today, 60 years under the Luciferian left, and the demonic white liberal, and niggas don't want to accept the truth. There's no getting around this. The white man is not your enemy. The white Democrat is. The Democrat Party was founded in 1829, to help deter the growing emancipation movement in America. They were created to keep you enslaved. Black people are the stupidest fucking people in the world. Black people in America are the single dumbest, most politically immature creatures in the universe. You vote for the people that hate you. You vote for the people that fought to enslave you. You vote for the people that night rode and murdered your forebears and raped your mothers. That's who you vote for. And today, that same white devil, Democrat, that cheered for your murder in the late 1800s or early 1900s, that same devil cheers when black women go abort their babies. You're stupid black people, and you deserve to fail as long as you vote for these devils. Period. I'm done.
All right.
Okay, hold on a second. Can I give Nate pushback?
No. We gotta chill. We gotta let Nate. We gotta let Nate go.
Sorry.
Get his heart rate back down to a healthy place. We gotta let it. We gotta breathe for.
Nigga, this is irrefutable truth. We vote for the people that worked for 2 centuries to destroy us. You just vote for them. One little stupid overture of a civil rights a civil rights bill from a white racist Texan congressman who became a vice president who played a role in the murder of the president. Lyndon Baines Johnson, according to two prostitutes, was on the plane back home from Texas laughing about how well the plan went. And you vote for him. And you keep voting for these devils. You deserve to suffer. Those stupid goddamn black people in Chicago and New York, good for you. Good for all the motherfucking goddamn illegals occupying your schools. They're going to commit crimes. They're going to put a burden on all your social services. They just passed $51 million in Chicago for the illegals, while all you black people claim you're suffering. This is what you stupid niggas vote for. You deserve it. You deserve hell. You deserve pain. You deserve to suffer. I'm sorry. You keep voting for this. Fucking Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom.
All right, Nate. All right, Nate. All right. So what I do want, because that documentary is nowhere on the internet, but if you do you got a link to that excerpt that you just
It's Uncle Tom on YouTube. Uncle Tom.
Wait, no. What I'm saying is, like, you could type that in and you'll get that exact clip, because I know you can't get the whole.
Yes,
you gotta pay for the whole
Uncle
thing.
Tom. 2 words. Uncle Tom.
Oh, okay,
It'll
cool.
Yeah, it'll pull up.
Yeah, somebody has clipped. What he's saying is somebody has clipped that portion real quick.
No. The Uncle Tom put those clips out.
No, Nate. What I'm saying is that they've clipped that from Uncle Tom, what have you, and and you can find it on YouTube just in its entirety about the Tulsa in itself.
Oh yeah. That's a 7-minute clip about Tulsa.
But Nate, real quick,
Just give us the link. Just send us the link to it.
Sure, I'll put the link in the chat.
Put the link in the chat and in the private chat for me.
No
Yeah, because that is a clip worth revisiting. That is a clip worth revisiting for later consumption. But Dane C in the building says Dane C in the building says Google search. There was 38 race riots. Oh, there was 38 race riots in the 1920s. 100 of blacks died in those riots. That video is propaganda.
Oh,
I know that's
God.
something that's gonna set Nate off, and we're gonna.
Dog.
Okay, Nate. No, before I go to dirty folks, Nate, I'll give you.
Okay.
You got 30 seconds to rebut that point without.
And shout out to Dane C, but I'm sorry, Dane C. That is a pastor that filmed life in 1925 in that same Tulsa town. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it breaks your heart and you believe what the liars tell you about how everything was destroyed by the white man. Nigga, I was listening to a stream by a woman named Dee Dee, right? She's one of those black men are great and black women are terrible women, and who makes content. She had a live stream. I had never seen a live stream before. Complex Design was there. There was a boomer up there talking about how we can't do anything because the white man burned down Tulsa.
I'm laughing because the people that criticize that y'all made the space all about women, they always find themselves on women channels. That shit be weird to me. Anyway, that's a separate point. Go ahead, Nate.
So I go up there and I start talking. I'm like, bruh, Tulsa was rebuilt. People were living well back in the 1920s and 40s. Black people were thriving. We had businesses. You had the Patterson Car Company. Luxury cars were being created by black men. And all he was doing is telling me how wrong I was. I'm sorry. Black people were thriving at a time there was open, obvious racism that they faced every day. Isn't it funny how all these black people who talk all this racism shit, they never talk about the racism they face? It's always the racism of some guy 2,000 miles away, 1,000 miles away. These leftist Negroes never get on a panel talking about the racism they face, yet they're crying and screaming about racism. It's a joke. If you want to live as a civil rights relic, that's your business, but you will fail, or you will never know the full scope of how successful you could be as a man in this country, because people darker than you come here and they dominate. You want to play these stupid failure games? Go ahead and play them.
All right. Shout out to Dane C. Do appreciate the super chat. Also, and we're gonna pass it to Dirty Folks right after this one. But Deacon Dave said, "Can someone please edit Nate's rants, make a series, and call it Lefty Nukes?" Real talk, Nate. You need to hire somebody to basically their job is to just listen to your live streams.
Conservative does it. He takes all clips and shit. And,
What I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. Somebody listen to all your live streams and then edit out all the money shots, and then just have like a shorts channel or just like
oh my god, that's a great idea though.
Yeah, just a channel with short uploads. Rather they the YouTube shorts or just like a good 4-minute rant, 5-minute rant, hell, an 8-minute rant, a 1-minute rant, a 30-second rant. And just make a channel with just all your money shot rants, and there, I think that'll go somewhere. Until YouTube nukes the channel, of course. But
before Dirty Folks go, can I just say something real brief?
Make it real brief.
It's just and shout out Dane C. But two things can be true at the same time. That video reel was from a doctor who just kept that for his personal collection. He didn't sell it to anyone, and that film was just discovered. So you can't say it was propaganda there. And yes, we're aware of the other riots that also happened. I happen to know of one that happened in Detroit before the 68 one in I want to say in the 30s and such. So two things can be true at the same time. It's not propaganda. At the Greenwood Center, that's the actual name of Tulsa, by the way.
Yes,
Greenwood Center. At the Greenwood Center, on its plaque, it talks about how they rebuilt it. But we're gonna still hear again about how we just bend it to the knee and we didn't fight back, and we don't know how to recover from ourselves. So it is what it is.
All right, Dirty Folks in the building. Go ahead. You have the floor. You have the mic. Thank you for your patience. Real quick, Freedman's Journal with the Cashapp. I did see that. I don't got my phone with me, but I checked my email, and I do see that you sent the Cashapp. Do appreciate that. Go ahead, Dirty Folks. You got the floor. You got the mic.
All right, Nick's a hard guy to follow. A lot of things I was gonna say Hood Servant started with earlier. That's why I dipped off. But there is something I wanted to add to that. Because I've been hearing girls say that for 12, 15 years almost. Because I used to mentor, rest in peace to Philip Jackson. There's an organization called Black Star Project. And they gave you access to all the Chicago public schools. And I used to go to elementary schools and talk to 7th and 8th graders, and then go to high schools and talk to juniors and seniors. And at every elementary school I went to, there was always a 14, 15-year-old girl talking about she wants to get pregnant, have a baby, don't need a man. That was in 2012, 2011. The other thing that was happening with older students, boys and girls, juniors and seniors, is they were yelling, pleading like, yo, we're about to graduate and we don't know anything. Like they haven't taught us anything. We've just been here for 12 years. Like what? But these are the same people that will go to community college or ICDC and become the quote unquote most educated, but they can't read either. So you're looking at black women are artificially propped up, right? But they don't know shit. They just do shit. But they artificially propped up and taught to look down on their mates, their male counterparts. One of the things I thought was the most hilarious thing, sadly funny, is that black girls are taught to disrespect males of all ages from a young age. And black boys are taught not to trust or respect men at a young age. And me being part of that cipher, and me being the worst thing for a black woman is an intelligent black man. That's her absolute nightmare, because they're raised to believe that men are strong, women are smart. When they realize boys are really smart and they just don't talk because of that initial programming, she's always right, so you just shut up. Then they get upset because they say, man, we have no place. If I'm not smarter and I'm not stronger and I don't network as well and I'm not as resilient, where is my place? Because they can't think their place is in the kitchen, right? Because they can't cook. I understand Nate's rants. I just don't understand. no, because I'm with Nate. You know, he's my favorite Baptist pastor, brimstone and fire. But with the where we split is his Democrat Republican rant is, although it's true, he always skips the fact that men do what the women like, and women like to see men punished. So when he says that they vote for policies against them, no, it's policies against heterosexual men. They're not policies against women at all. They voting for $10 billion from Goldman Sachs, and
I hear you.
they're voting in their own best self-interest, and you're voting for her best self-interest, and people keep blaming the liberals, but they never realize they sleeping with the enemy. Now I also sleep with the enemy, but at least I know she the enemy.
But in response, real quick,
go ahead.
In response, Dirty, these women, what they're doing, I know temporarily it seems like it's to their benefit, but ultimately it's to their detriment. Okay. Because none of these women are now qualified to be under a proper man's leadership. They're finished.
Okay, so
women left to their own devices will more than likely self-destruct. That's all you see happening with black women and other women in this country. They're self-destructing.
Nate, I also agree that every child needs adult supervision. I'm with him on that. My pushback on that is women are not part of any community. They have never been part of any community.
Okay.
Right? Not the hip hop community, not the gamer community, no community. Women are not. Women chase men and want to join the community that men build. The weirdest thing about American blacks is they forget the old natural, and every 7 years there's a new normal. So you'll never be able to quell what's going on unless you say, cool, we gonna leave these women, gays, and felons alone, and us guys, we gonna work for 7 years and we gonna create our own new normal. People have been marching 70 years because they won't follow a 7-year plan. It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? You can leave the same curriculum as is, get the same funding as is. You have to do absolutely nothing different except saying I'm doing it for black men instead of I'm doing it for women, gays, and felons. You'll get the exact same money because you act like you're not part of the EEOC Act. If the T Gibbets, if the L Gibbets can get housing based on the same tribal codes that they made for black men, but black men think that they have to live with a single mom, that's a black man problem.
Wait, hold on, Dirty. You kind of on to something when you're saying that if black men try to float under the guise of black to try to get some benefits for black, I think you're on to something. Me and Hood kind of have talked about this, that if you try, if black men like organized and tried to do that, but it was something that was going to only benefit things in a black male kind of way, especially if it even mimicked some kind of patriarchal type of way, we can't get in that same line that the women, gays, and felons are standing in and try to siphon something out of it. That's honestly what I think a lot of people want to do. Like a lot of the leftist niggas that Nate be going off on in the space. Some of them, I don't think some of them are necessarily leftist niggas. They just understand that party is what's giving stuff to black people. So they're just trying to figure out how can black men reach in and get a piece of that could benefit us.
Well, why is it that? Well, I have a question, real quick.
But I don't know if that's going to work. That's why I think either just letting go of that party and going the other way.
Well, why is it that everything that black people get from the left is to our detriment, and on the opposite side of the political spectrum, they get tax cuts, they get capital for their business ideas, they get
shit that only benefit you.
They get school choice. They get all this other stuff on the other side.
Hold on, Nate. You talking about shit that only benefit you if you're productive. Lower taxes and capital for business and all of that. You got to be productive in doing shit to get those benefits.
You have to be a part of America.
Okay,
most niggas don't want to be a part of America.
I can answer that question for you, Nate, because you just combine two things that they seem like they're interrelated when you colored, but they're two different things.
Go ahead.
You just said, how come people from the right? How come the right can get things that the left can't? My argument is the left and the right get the same things because those are programs. Programs aren't based on your affiliation, your political affiliation. What happens with black people is they give all this stuff to the women, gays, and felons, but they use straight black men to get it. They need you to die for gay people to get housing, right?
That was when me and Hood talked about that. That was sort of the conclusion that black men can't get in that line and think that they're going to get something out of it. Even though I played with the idea of, what if we tried to float under that radar or whatever? Look at Dr. Tiasan Johnson's I think now 16-point black male political agenda. Let's try to float like, hey, y'all like to give shit to black people, y'all like to help black people. We're black people, we're showing up. We're asking for this. And typically when black people ask for shit long enough, other than reparations, typically when the black people ask for shit long enough, they kind of get it from the government. So it's like black men in their own way is trying to get in line to get it from the people that only give stuff to, as you say, dirty women, gays, and felons.
The black men don't show up.
Can straight heterosexual black men singularly get something from the government?
Yes. When they get a logo, when they decide to tribe up and get a logo, they'll get it. When they have their
Donald Trump put
No, but see, hold on. But that logo gonna look pretty misogynistic.
It don't matter
if it's only straight black men showing up.
Only straight black men can be misogynistic.
I get it, but I'm just saying, if only straight black men show up to the Democratic Party saying
no.
For straight black men,
no,
it ain't happening.
Not to the Democratic Party.
To who?
You go straight to the source.
Who is that?
The government. You can get it straight from the Fed. When I go to these minority business meetings and all that bullshit, you know who I see in there? A little white woman teaching a bunch of black women how to be minorities. And it'll be me and two other men in there. And they'll actually just, hey, women. And then they'll see us like, hi, people. Like, black men don't show up for the bread. They trust their women to bring the bag back. And these chicks keep bags. They're bag collectors. You know
Donald Trump funded at the highest level ever, and he expanded the Opportunity Zone program, 8,700 plus opportunity zones, many of them in close proximity to poor black neighborhoods. This was not an exclusively black program. It was for poor people.
Yeah.
Black people didn't take advantage of it at all. Over $100 billion was allocated private funding for a lot of people who don't qualify for a normal means of capital from banks to start a business. You could have gone to these opportunity zones. You could have applied and tried to get yourself funding to start a business. Black people didn't do it. They were too busy listening to Rachel Maddow and Anderson Cooper tell them how racist Trump was.
No. Okay, wait. Let me push back on that. Because nobody hates black people more than boomer men and Gen X black women down. This is what happened with that money. No, I'm being honest. This is what happened with that money.
Go ahead.
Well, because before they were called opportunity zones, in Chicago they were called hub zones. Whatever hub stands for.
Housing and urban
business. I forgot what the A stands for. So those are the same zones you're talking about. Trailer park stuff, all that. When the money comes down federally, they have to be able to allocate it locally. So they have to set up, and this is, I ain't gonna spend no game on y'all channel because, you know, game is sold, not told, and niggas on tribe. But the way that they allocate the funds are to particular groups in particular segments to distribute to their people. Normally that money goes to foundations, like organizations like the Urban League or whoever does the SSI.
Oh my God.
And they steal the money. I heard about that money. I went to get the money. They asked me, how did I know about the money, and blocked my number.
Oh my God. And whoa. Who does the Urban League align with? Who does the NAACP align with? Who do all these organizations align with? The left. Thank you. You're getting robbed and fleeced by your boule gatekeepers. That's what they are. That's what Roland Martin is. That's what all these niggas are. They're boule gatekeepers.
I understand that. All I'm saying, let me be the tribal warlord. I'll be the gatekeeper. I got shooters and everything. What the way that they made their situation is the same way we will make our situation, just parallel. I keep telling people, man, infrastructure, systems, and organization, and all those things are great things that men do. Women are great at repetitive tasks. You want to be a secretary, fine, but keep her away from my table. You can do it in such a way there's at least one person from 26 states in this chat right now. If they went on and put down a state, I would show them how to be the satellite to make sure that they mans in them straight. I would just make sure y'all never feed a woman or a child or gay people.
Not even your own kids. Not even your
own
kids.
Feed your own kids out your paycheck. Don't feed your kids out this money. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
All right. All right. Dane C in the building says, I also agree. I hate when people say black people bent the knee and black men didn't build. Over 200 black towns created. Greenwood is just one of 200 built. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. And thank you, Freedman's Journal in the building. He says, black men in the aggregate do not want power, leadership, or the burden from the gynocracy. They want a part on the head instead of a kick in the ass. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. All right, y'all. I started at 9 today because I'm trying to be off the air by 12, and it's 12:14. This was a good conversation. I should have knew that to just make this conversation about that video. I should have knew to make that the main topic. I think I changed. Yeah, we got the topic in the title and the thumbnail changed. So we may revisit the tape on that, or not. I probably won't touch it again. Well, maybe, but I hope other people touch it. But no, that's definitely was an epic one. Definitely was an epic one. But we about to get up out of here. I do appreciate everybody who made it into the building. Do appreciate.
Hey Bernard, can I have a last?
I got you. SKC says the 12-year-old mindset is the majority. Oh, agreed. All right. Who was that? That was Pablo said one more.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to respond to Game Changer basically saying that, or insinuating that everybody, I'm trying to promote that everybody needs to be a passport bro. On contrary, I actually have videos on my channel saying the exact opposite. However, I think that men need to know the actual odds that they're up against when you're talking about operating in a subculture that is going against what their goals actually are. If your goal is to actually find a woman and get married and have the nuclear family thing and do all of that, the white picket fence and all that, Black America is against you. Make no bones about it. Draw no quarter. They are not bowling down that alley to the tune of 70% and rising. So please, don't take my what I was saying as trying to recruit you to be a passport bro. You ain't got to do nothing but stay black, die, and pay taxes.
Yeah, Game Changer is already technically a passport bro without the label. I mean,
well,
his last girlfriend was from a different country. He travels frequently. I don't even know if he wants this out there, but he did talk about figuring out a way to how to live out of the country.
I say this frequently that passport broing is somewhat like being in the black manosphere. Nobody want to be in the black manosphere till they are in it. Same thing with the passport bros. Ain't nobody a passport bro, but they all want to do passport bro shit. So, I mean, hey, look, man, do take with it what you will. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. There's plenty of people. I mean, well, Game Changer calls himself. He's not a passport bro, but he's a bro with a passport who uses it frequently and gets criticized for one particular thing he did while over there with a passport and involving a stove. So I mean, he take the same heat as y'all. So y'all. That's what I be trying to say. Like y'all are on the same, like in a roundabout way, we all on the same team.
Yeah, if you're gonna take incoming fire, just go ahead and stand on it. Stand in it. Yeah.
But all right. Dane C in the building says we need an opportunity zone stream, Bernard. All right, we might get to that. But all right, we about to get out of here. Don't put up the schedule. No, I was just about to say don't put that up because that schedule is changing. So don't even put that up. Be looking for something. Well, I guess the Wednesday night show might still be on. But I'll be back tomorrow 9 a.m. Going to be starting to start at 9 a.m. every day, and then getting out of here by 12 noon ish. Be getting out of here by 12 noon ish. But thank you everybody who's in the building. Appreciate each and every one of you. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone. We not gone yet.